I've been thinking, should we change the theme song?
Yeah, let's
Kinda,
change it
right?
to- I don't know what befits a burning barrel. If you want to do like kind of some sad jazzy thing that like hobos in an alley might have kind of played over them that they're gathering around the burning barrel, or like some country song because it's out on a ranch. There's a burning barrel sitting there that they toss cow dung into as
dung?
kindling. Well, like dried out cow dung as kindling, and then they
What are they, on the ranch? Like,
on the ranch, and then they
where's
burn
cow
garbage.
dung in the middle of the city underneath the bridge?
No, they're on a ranch. This is
Oh.
the Dude Ranch reforged.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah, what's
Game
going on?
Dudes, it's coming back.
What?
Yeah, without you. Because
What?
you're all just like, oh, I fucking hate playing games with people. It's single player
Co-op
experience.
games.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, fine, fuck them. I got 3 things coming out soon.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I guess you went to that video store too, so you have as much ownership over that title as I do, but
We don't have ownership over it at all.
no one does though. 5-Star Video bought it and then they're gone too, so who cares? It's ours now. The true
I never liked 5-Star. I
It
never
wasn't
did.
good. It was never as good. Like I got Rogue Squadron there and I was disappointed.
Oh, I mean, like, for movies as well.
I didn't even look into them.
5-Star for me was the thing across the highway where the cars go like a fucking 180 kilometers an hour down.
Like past it, yeah.
Just the worst. Yeah, so riding my bike at the time to go to the video store, that was never in the cards for me.
I played some N64 there though at the 5-Star. That was.
Did they have the same setup as Game
I
Cube?
think you could rent some time. Yeah, I think for a while they maintained that. So my first taste of N64, like 3D graphics, was there, and it was Shadows of the Empire, and it blew my mind. I was like, I have to save up all my chores money.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah, and I need to buy this video game. This is the peak right here. And, subsequently, all these Dotas and things coming out. It's just like, I don't know why you guys are even trying, because we already did it 18 years ago.
Shadows of the
Sorry.
Empire?
I'm joking, but there are games that are near and dear to my heart, and then there's mysterious things that I will never understand. And one of them is Shadows of the Empire, and the other one is modern MOBA stuff. I don't want it. I don't want any part of it. It's not what I want. So that's why you're here too, for the balance.
Yeah,
the games
because
that
I'm not opposite, because there's still like old weird shit. So I tried playing Resident Evil 2 recently.
Yeah,
those games control way harder than I remember. So it's going to take the feel to come back. Before.
It is it's like, it's like people weren't joking when they talk about tank controls, but for me the main thing is the camera stuff of just like, it's just constantly radically changing, and you just need to get used to that. Of just like, where is my guy? Oh, there's Leon. He's there.
See,
okay,
for me,
to wide shot.
For me, that's not the issue, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like I know where all the cameras will turn, basically.
Okay.
What the issue for me, I found out, is that when you're just like getting the right angle when you're going left or right while running to like skip past stuff.
Oh.
Because if you watch somebody play that game when they're new, they kind of like will go forward, then they'll stop completely and turn or to the direction they want to face, then go forward.
Yeah.
But like when you're used to playing that game or those games, you have like a nostalgic feel for it, sort of thing, where you're constantly running and just like kind of tilting left or right depending how much you want to like turn or like go around stuff. And that is way different than I think I remember it being, because it's like, oh no, I went way too far left and I ran into a zombie. I should have like feathered it a little bit more or something.
Yeah.
So
no, it's weirdly specific.
It's like riding a bike.
There's a Wii port of Resident Evil 0.
Yeah, there is. You're right.
Like, I just, like, saw it in a store and was like, oh, what? Like, the Resident Evil Archives release. And it was just, like, I don't know what kind of tweaks to the controls happened. But I thought that game lived and died on the GameCube, and no one past GameCube era ever would have had a means of playing it. But I guess it lived on a little bit. But, yeah, Capcom. Oh, speaking of Capcom,
play that one?
I started playing it, like did a bit of stuff, like fought maybe the first boss or something. It was just kind of like, it just kind of lost interest. Like it wasn't.
It's not very good.
Boring.
Like it's just straight up not very good.
Like
So
something about the like the remake edition of the first one, like it was something about just being in a spooky mansion seemed like just iconic kind of stuff or something. Like not even saying like, oh, the Resident Evil, like the first Resident Evil is so iconic. I'm just saying like spooky mansion, all right, like that's a centerpiece, like that's something to get like explore. Whereas just like on a train, we're kind of going places.
Now we're like an underground factory or lab or like.
Yeah, it's less it's like less focused on a thing that's interesting. It's just kind of random things.
That was kind of like Resident Evil 2 as well.
I mean, for a while it's like, oh, the police station, but then you start going to like weird other stuff, and it's a bit.
It doesn't really deviate a whole lot from the police station though, because like I count the sewer systems as still part of the police station because it's the sewer
part of the city,
but then like after that. It's kind of like you go into this like abandoned factory area and then the laboratory, like the hidden lab sort of thing. So
the lab stuff is where it's like a bit out there.
That's what I kind of liked about the mansion was that the lab was underground and the mansion was just like
a cover.
It was the cover for what was actually going on here, and it was a lab, and Albert Wesker was terrible.
Yeah.
That's basically, I mean, spoiler alert.
Like the bigger and broader in scope they get, the kind of diluted. I don't know. I just want
something focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make you really like I almost kind of like make you get really comfortable with the place. Like just kind of remember like, oh yeah, over there is this thing, and it's like, oh shit, there's a redhead here now or something. Like just like you're used to this hallway, but now you're uncomfortable in it again or something. Like
oh man, the Crimson Head zombies.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like I don't know, just keeping you in a space that you get more and more familiar with, but then they still kind of fill it with bad things.
Did I tell you I played Operation Raccoon City for the first time recently?
Yeah, and you weren't feeling it?
Yeah, it's not very good, but they have the Crimson Head zombies in it, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, that was a cool idea from the first ones, so...
I guess it makes sense in like a third-person shooter where it's like, well, we need an enemy that is like... They have counter-operative forces or like SWAT teams or something or blah blah blah, so it's still a lot of like gun-on-gun action, and that's kind of lame. It's like, oh, this is Gears of War basically or something. But when you like get to places with zombies, I always like that part of that game, like those parts of that game I should say, because it's like to make you feel helpless, there's just a whole bunch of zombies like in this little area or something. Mm-hmm. So instead of a big area with a lot of cover where you're going to fight and do a huge gunfight, it's kind of cool to go through these corridors with just like, I don't know, like 20 zombies right in front of you. And then they can come back from the dead if you didn't pop their heads or whatever.
Or burn them, yeah.
And then they start running at you. So
yeah.
It's pretty great, yeah.
But overall, just something about that campaign isn't good, or
the controls, like it's like a bad Gears of War clone.
Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of too bad, but at the same time, nobody really cared ever, so whatever.
Like for the by and large, yeah. Like I heard a couple positive opinions of it here and there on Mega 64, I think. But there's some diehard Resident Evil folks over there, so I don't know.
Garrett,
I don't even know if he was the one that was kind of up on it, though, or not.
Is it Rocco, then? I know Rocco likes him, some Resident Evil, so...
He might, about Operation Raccoon City specifically.
No, Garrett's more Metal Gear.
Garrett loves the Resident Evil, too, though. Like, he's got the pistol and everything. Yeah.
It's a good pistol.
Yeah. But I didn't play any Resident Evil this week. But that's cool. What did you play Resident Evil 2 on? Like just on PSN? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, do you bust out the N64 version, put the green blood on, something cool?
No, nothing like that, unfortunately. I might be getting a Dreamcast for free, though.
Dope.
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like my friend's like, do you want a Dreamcast? I'm like, yeah, how much? He's like, you can just have it. Like, because I'm selling all my shit and moving or something. It's like, cool, man. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like super warming up to this idea of just like, I'm gonna stop with the new consoles and just kind of go offline with my gaming again.
What about Destiny, though? Aren't you so excited?
I have enjoyed Bungie products in the past, but that seems so contingent on multiplayer online-y kind of business, and that's not my language, man. That's
I
not what I want.
I felt completely wrong this last week because when I saw like videos of the gameplay or whatever that the beta people got for pre-ordering,
Yeah.
it looked like a Halo basically.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a Halo how it played and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So I posted that on Twitter, and people are like, no, it's more like Borderlands. And I was like, okay, that's even more interesting to me now because that doesn't look anything like Borderlands. So
No, like structurally, I that has been kind of the point of comparison people have said of like, oh, it's going to be kind of like Borderlands, like co-op, big open questing and stuff like that. But
okay,
if the shooting model, like if the gunplay is more like Halo,
that's it. Looks like the gunplay is more
that
like Halo.
or in the jumping and stuff specifically, like the
Yep.
float you have, that's kind of what I like about the way Halo plays. And vehicles, the way they actually use vehicles is not garbage like in Borderlands. So that might be of interest, I guess. But again, it's like I'm kind like put the brakes on the game train and go back to when I cared about it. And yeah, maybe play some Dreamcast or some PS2 games I never got around.
But like, you didn't care about any 360 games. Oh, by the way, I played a little bit of that Naruto game you gave me.
How is that?
It's garbage. It is fucking terrible.
That's kind of how I was feeling when I played it, but I was
Okay.
seeing like some 7s and 8s reviews and people saying like, "Oh man, this is great anime adaptation, open
No,
world."
people are wrong because I spent like 15 minutes of that fucking game watching episode 1 of the anime, basically, and then playing a clunky ass running and like it's almost like Superman. That's what
Ugh,
it's like. Because
yeah.
the very first thing you do is like you're racing, quote unquote, somebody, and you're running through circles like checkpoints.
Oh, dude.
And it's
Yeah, it's like
floaty and garbage, and then you get treated to another anime cutscene for 5 minutes from the first episode. And the whole time I'm thinking, I've seen this episode. Like, I've seen this anime. This is not what I want. I don't
with
want to
like
sit...
nice crisp cell
No,
animation, not
no.
this like bad
That's,
cinema version.
that's the problem, is that the
Yeah.
game itself looks very, very good. Like, it looks fantastic.
Like
And
the
then it
cell
cuts to
shading,
this,
everything,
like,
sure.
VHS quality bullshit that, like, they ripped something almost from, like, the VHS tape somebody had in their basement that got mold and mildew on it from the last 20 years from when it aired originally, then put it through, like, a tape deck or something, and then
And
converted
big
it to
video.
DVD, then
Yeah.
went back to Laserdisc, and then recorded it onto a VCR, and then put it into the game.
And
It's
then
fucking
big video
terrible.
down sampling or whatever. And yeah, awesome.
Oh, man, it's so fucking bad.
So to be clear, this is Naruto Rise of a Ninja
Rise of a Ninja, yeah.
for
And,
the 360. So don't go back and play that one. It is not a hidden gem. It goes right into the burning barrel.
I feel kind of ripped off because I was streaming it a little bit,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I traded a typewriter for this game.
that typewriter has caused like just big heavy problems of its own.
I
but
know. It's really bad.
It-
Like,
it
I remember there was a
works.
while there where I had that typewriter in the trunk of my car, like my car when I had it,
Yeah,
and it was just to weigh down the back end during winter because that thing is
Okay.
fucking heavy. It's basically like a sandbag.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you can see your mileage change because this typewriter's in it. It just adds that much heft.
It's actually worth about $100 worth of fuel every month. Yeah.
Like when you turn it on too, it just has this like hum. It's just like
Honestly, I like the hum.
it's
I do.
kind of cool,
Yeah.
but
I like everything about it except when we had to move, and it's just like, oh, this isn't even going to go on a box. This is just going to be a 70-pound thing I have to carry alone.
yeah, it's right here in the room. So no, thank you for the typewriter, but
It's like a piece of equipment, or not equipment, furniture, more than
Mhm.
anything. Like, I think that thing weighed more than my couch. I'm pretty sure it weighed more than my couch. So,
just distributed like it's way denser, obviously.
I guess what I'm getting at by giving this whole, like, anecdotal bullshit I'm talking about right now about the weight of a typewriter I used to have is that I still feel ripped off. I would rather lug a 70-pound thing around every time I moved
Then
than have
Rise of a Ninja.
to play Rise of a Ninja ever again. But the
Okay.
good thing about video games is that you don't have to play them.
Yeah,
So
you can just be like, you know what, this was poor, and then take it out and put it aside and not ever think about it. Like Killzone 3. Anyway,
I did beat Killzone 3, and I don't know
good for
why.
you. Yeah, I got pretty far in it, and at some point I was like, I'm gonna beat this game, and then I was like, why? Who do I owe this to? And I
I
was like,
think the gunplay's fine though. Like, I'm pretty
sure.
sure I was just having fun just running
It's
around
just like
shooting guys, so.
just me dying over and over into kind of weird places, and it being a little like in I guess inconsistent with the objectives or something. Like it's just like, dude, no, you can't do this. It's like, why? Like I've killed many dudes before. It's just like, well, in this case, there's infinite dudes unless you go here and press this button. And I was like, that's so dumb. Like it was just,
Yeah.
hitting my head against a wall kind of stuff. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna hold down, clear this area, and then take care of it.
Yeah.
And it did not really message that was not a way to do it at all. But whatever. Who cares? Malcolm McDowell's in it. There you go.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, I like Malcolm McDowell.
No, yeah, I know.
Why did you
I guess,
say enough said?
Sure, I guess that sounds negative.
Yeah.
It's not Clockwork Orange.
I was gonna say Clockwork Orange,
Yeah,
just to be like dumb and facetious,
it's kind of
because it is like Clockwork Orange.
Killzone 3 is the Clockwork Orange of first-person shooters.
I don't know if you know this, but gaming, to me, is a religion.
And Killzone 3 is shit?
Is
Oh.
the shit.
Okay.
It's actually not as bad as like you're making it out to be, but it's not good. It just isn't. So
It's not top tier. Anyway,
how did we get on this? Destiny?
Destiny is a shooter that people care about. Dreamcasts, offline games, going back, kicking it old school. Eventually, I'm going to buy an Atari.
Dude, VMUs? Like,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to just having more random
chows.
bullshit in a drawer, so that's going to be okay.
Yep, and just this weird, like, one analog stick controller with, like, mad buttons.
I could get Typing of the Dead, though, and that, like, shitty fucking keyboard they gave you.
Yeah, you could play PSO the way it was meant to be played.
PSO is great. Those games are actually fantastic.
Toy Commander. Yeah.
That is,
Power Stone.
Power Stone? Yeah. Toy Commander is a title that is not even in my rearview mirror right now. It is in a blind spot, so I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it's like just kind of that whole like you're a little guy and you're next to a sink and then you're flying around in like a living room battling other toys.
So is it like that Toy Soldiers?
It's kind of like that, but
it's exactly that.
But it's like, a vehicle-based action game, I'm pretty sure. I don't think you're running around. Really.
That seems way less accessible to me.
Vigilante 8 if it was set in your house. Yeah.
I loved Vigilante 8, by the way, so good pull.
What if it was all toy cars?
I probably wouldn't like that as much, but you know what? Vigilante 8 was stupid enough as it is. So, like, do you remember, was it Vigilante 8? No, it was Rogue Trip. Do you remember Rogue Trip?
No.
Okay, so it was basically like Twisted Metal or Vigilante 8. It was a car shoot-'em-up fucking arena battling game sort of thing.
Okay.
And
like Cell Damage.
One of the vehicles was a hot dog mobile.
Okay.
And the special attack was that the wiener came out all the way of the bun to the front and then like slammed up and left or right.
Okay, so
so just like
sausage waving around, smacking things.
Yeah, so it was kind of a weird sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
It's like was weird.
Dick smack vehicle. That's so weird.
And the funny thing is that like if you actually hit somebody with it, it was basically over. It was almost like a one-hit kill.
Wow. Okay.
So,
but it's like melee combat with your car, so that's challenge.
Rogue Trip.
Check it out. Is that a Dreamcast game or no?
No, that was a PlayStation 1 game.
Man,
that was a late 90s game.
Speed Devils?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Dreamcast racing game.
Yep.
I think there's a dinosaur in one stage and like a tornado. Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't realize GT Interactive was the one that did Rogue Trip.
Okay.
No wonder they went down in stocks.
What is their claim to fame? Is it Rogue Trip?
Sorry, I'm just seeing like who the actual developer was. I just realized they were the publisher.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't. Okay. Single Track was the developer, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that did the original Twisted Metal. So
Okay. Well, there you go. Dreamcast classics. That came out 16 years ago,
the Dreamcast,
wasn't it? 98 or was it 99? I think it was 99 actually. Now that I say it out loud,
the Dreamcast was 98.
was it 98?
Like
Okay.
originally in Japan.
I would believe that too. That's why I said 16 initially, but then I was like, wait a minute, 1999 sounds like that would be a cool year to launch something. Like
99,
Millennium,
99 it came out everywhere else. So
like
for all
year.
intents and purposes, you can say it came out in 99
So the
because
time I was standing in a video store and was like, whoa, looking at Sonic Adventure.
Japan's always kind of a year ahead anyway, right?
They were. Now it's
Yeah.
not so much the case. But
Mhm.
back then, yeah, Japan lived in the future. Their cell phones were better than ours, and that was just the way it was.
Not only were they better, like, cell phones, but, like, everybody had one before over here everybody did. Like, kids going to school, like, preschool, would have a cell phone around their neck.
Sure. Like texting all the time and, like, online, whatever. Like, all these weird little games, mobile games. Like, that was all in Japan first. And now it's ruining our culture over here.
There was one comment on Twitter that made me actually want to check out Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, a dude said, the great thing about Destiny is that it feels like Borderland without the Reddit circle jerk writing.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
So that's
Anthony
pretty good.
Birch, bless him, I guess.
No, dude, whatever. Like, sure, he panders to the internet. We'll say just the internet, period.
Yeah.
But when he was with Destructoid, he did a lot of stuff to showcase some, like, indie stuff that was really worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, people can't see, but you're dancing.
I know. I'm doing. These are the opposite wavelengths. Like, here goes Anthony, and then I go over here.
Yes, but
and then we cross over right here.
A few times, because you did that many times.
Far Cry 2, crossover, and then now we're on complete opposite times. Come back.
I think he was the original, like, I'm obsessed with Far Cry 2.
He was, that's the first person I heard being like, no, you guys, seriously, Far Cry 2. And I was like, what do you mean? I played that for a bit.
And people always gave him shit on the podcast and stuff about it. It's just like, so how many times have you played now? 13 or so. Yeah, like, all the way through.
Doing one of those perfect impossible runs or whatever where you never die. If you die,
like, he would just replay it over and over with, like, different people and, like, try different metas or something with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my shotgun Rambo run or something. Like,
yeah.
So that's okay. He did fine.
And now he's top of the world, ma. So, boom.
Well, he's getting paid for it.
That sweet Gearbox money.
It's no chugga change, but I'm sure he's doing fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing fine enough to just, like, be plugging tokens away in a machine all night, but
yeah. Do you find his sister funny?
No.
Oh, okay.
I kind of can't stand her.
Like the Hey Ash, what you play and stuff, like the skit or two I saw on, like, game trailers, I was just like, God damn it. And then it was just like, oh yeah, no, they have a huge panel at PAX and they're just like giant figures right now.
Oh no, they're huge. That's why why he had, like, people following him and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess. Kind of exploitative.
Sure. Yeah.
However you want to say it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what we're doing now. In video game town.
People?
In video game town. Speaking of video game town,
we've been doing that for a long time in video game town, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I guess just since it's the complaining about games journalism corner right now.
Is it? Okay.
Well, I mean, you know,
how deep in the corner does this go?
Ashley Birch and everything. That's game journalism, sort of.
Well,
right?
She's not a journalist, but I would say more
basically like a commentator, like an enthusiast press person.
No, she isn't. She entertainment, I would say, if anything.
I don't. All right. I just lump it all together at this point. It seems like
unless she has, like, a blog where she's actually giving. I don't think she gives, like, opinions on stuff in her videos or anything. So.
Well, what about the podcast they have? Like, they're kind of talking with people who wrote.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's more of Anthony's thing.
Okay. Anyway, whatever. Point is, I want to say Colin Campbell.
Yeah, Colin Campbell.
Do you know who that is?
Polygon.
He
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why I know that name, and it's not coming to me, so it's obviously an important thing he's done for the world, really, but
Yeah, so
I have no idea.
I'd never heard of this guy, but earlier today,
Hmm.
today being June 17th, what day is it right now?
It is unfortunately the 17th.
17th of June, 2014, year of our Lord. Uh that guy Notch, popular internet man, he made the
Yeah.
Minecraft.
And all
He
the money, by the way. Like, I'm
all
not
of
I'm
money.
not saying that he like Minecraft necessarily gave him money, but he is printing it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So earlier today, this on this day, he tweeted out this email that he received from Colin Campbell asking him some questions. Like it was just kind of an interview thing. And I guess the focus of him tweeting it and the whole thing was kind of just about, hey, this guy's questions were kind of aggressive, so I answered like this. And he just answers like, no, no, yes, I disagree with your premise, yes. Like to the 5 questions, right? That's the point Notch is making. The thing that jumped out at me and just made me so angry that I had to bitch about it a bit were like this sentence here. What your advice to them be is a question in this email, and
What?
the grammar alert in my head just freaked out, and I was so angry at everything for like 5 minutes. And I apologize for being a grammar Nazi kind of person, but this person's paid to ask questions of people and to interview and do stuff. And I don't know. It was just like somehow this like notion of just like you can't even read over your email before you send it to like someone important per se, like someone you're interviewing, like any
No, dude,
subject.
whatever. Like, important is a word
Yeah,
for this.
to sure. Like I mean, like prominent figure right now. Like, but even anybody, like if you're writing a professional sounding email, like check your grammar. Like, I don't know. Does that sentence even ring false to you, or does it sound fine?
Just say it one more time.
What your advice to them be?
What? I don't understand it. Like,
It,
I understand what is your advice.
like it's like missing a word, isn't it? Like, what would your advice to them be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just missing a word, but it just sounded so silly to me. I see now that I'm saying it out loud, I sound super picky. But
No, no, like, I understand.
there was another one too, but
The
it's
thing is,
that's
like,
the one.
typos
Oh,
and
they a
stuff.
valuable part of the ecosystem. It's typos. There's 2 typos in this email. That's
Typos
what
and that
jumped out.
sort of stuff happen. They just do. But, you would think that it's like, okay, I'm going to be talking to this person. I am going to make sure I don't sound like the biggest retard on the earth right now.
Yeah, I guess even more ultimately, the tone of his questions is pretty aggressive, so that's why he answers so
Can you
curtly.
give me an example? Like, I don't know how.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because that doesn't sound aggressive because it sounds retarded. So,
Here's the question he just straight up disagreed with. The argument goes that these servers do good for Minecraft. They a valuable part of the ecosystem, but they need the pay to win functionality to survive. People enjoy them, so why not leave them alone?
well, I think I need some background. What's even going on? What are they
Okay,
reaching out to him for?
the point of this article, yeah, we're looking to explain the whole Minecraft EULA thing to people who find it confusing.
What
We
is
have,
the EULA thing?
yeah, I don't know either.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's kind of thing. His first question is, do you think your blog posts and efforts to explain Mojang's approach are succeeding in helping people to understand your motivations? His answer to that is no. So I guess there is some confusion right now around some changes to Minecraft that are going on.
Is this like one of those stupid things where this happens on Steam and shit all the time where it's like, I bought this game, I own it. So are people saying like, I made this in your game, so this is my intellectual property? And he's just like, no, the end user license agreement or whatever says that everything you're doing is my code. So guess what, bitch? Like, I own you. I guess I don't understand the.
Yeah, like question 4 leads me to think that there's some question over like the ownership of stuff. Because if you actually enforce these rules, won't you be driving professional, well-run outfits out of business to be replaced by dishonest fraudsters and hard to reach places like Russia? And his answer is just no. They're changing the server stuff or something.
That is putting way more questions in my head as to what's going on.
Crap. Sorry. Okay, so here's the fundamental problem we're having. I don't care about anything that has to do with Minecraft at all. So the fundamental problem, like, that this is actually about doesn't matter to me at all. The point for me is some game professional isn't double checking his emails before contacting prominent people. That's all it is.
Okay, so that's what we're getting at.
That's what I'm getting at. Okay. I don't care. But yeah, you're right. Maybe something crazy. Maybe Minecraft's on fire. I don't know. This is just a straw that breaks the camel's back thing for me personally, because there are so many times where I'll be reading like news on IMDb, like just some movie news, and there's just like a flagrant typo or just misinformation or just like a fact that isn't right. And as just like a movie person, I'm just like, if I know this and I'm not getting paid, why are you getting paid? And I just like flip out and throw my phone and just go,
well, that's getting paid is the operative thing in there, right? It's like,
yeah, that's the part that is salty.
if we at work send an email and we have the wrong date in it, we got called out on it.
Yeah,
because that's just like, no, you're not being professional.
To
like,
express ourselves.
You're being paid to do a certain thing, do it well.
Right. And I mean, I see emails come through my work inbox that have typos in them, and I go, all right, like, I'll be careful with my own
console.
That's fine, but
no, that's a typo for what actually they are doing.
I guess so. Oh, sure, that's misinformation, but I mean just flat out bad grammar in the wording of stuff, of just like, okay, well, whatever. But yeah, like, I mean, that is my business. In our business, I am supposed to express myself clearly and with proper information about what I'm talking about. If I see someone in a business I casually am just interested in because I like the entertainment they talk about, and they're doing their job poorly, it just like really bothers me. So yeah, like, I don't know if it's like Entertainment Weekly or Variety or whoever, but like just IndieWire or dumb little websites out there that are frequently top page on IMDb. It's just, ugh. I don't know.
The thing is, like, it's not hard to have a fresh pair of eyes look over your stuff, or even to maybe use like autocorrect or something.
Sure, or just double check it. Maybe it's just because it's the internet. Again. So it's just like, oh, I finished writing, submit, and it's just like there, it's online. Yeah. So just like a little bit of care and attention to what you're saying, but
like the thing is, you wouldn't see XKCD, for example, have a typo in a comic, because that would kind of be ridiculous, right? Where this kind of smarmy, smart webcomic has a grammar error in it.
Yeah.
Then you're just like, oh, this guy's obviously an idiot, unsubscribe.
Sure. Like, you got to maintain some sort of credibility, and that's a key part of it. For me, like, that is a standard I have.
Now that I think about it, most people that read video game news are retarded. So it's probably just playing to their audience.
Or, like, I'm wondering if part of it is also this growing tendency that I have been part of with some articles of just like, oh, well, no one actually reads it anyway. So, like,
right.
There's this sort of just like, they have read your headline and that is what they're going to read. So as long as there's no typos in your headline, fine.
You know what else they're going to read? They're going to read the headline, and then they're just going to scroll to the bottom and see if there's a number out of 10.
Yeah. That's what I did today with like a friend of mine's movie review, because it was a movie I've already seen. So I was just like, Edge tomorrow. Did you like it? Yeah, 5 out of 5. All right, cool.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong to do that. I'm just saying that's what people look at.
Yeah.
So
that's what matters. It's like, what is your verdict? Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get back to whatever it is I was doing. I like, maybe that's the thing. Like, I need to make that part of my thing of just slowing down a bit and appreciating things a little more.
No.
But I mean, back when Barry's Temple of Godzilla, man, I read every single scrap of text on that website. And now I can't be bothered to read like 3 paragraphs about some important thing.
Do you think it could be that we're just bombarded with useless shit that we're just like, no, we're skimming now?
Yeah. No, absolutely. We're just in a kind of constant bombardment. So it's just like, if you can't sum up yourself in like 140 characters, I don't know what you're doing. Like, that's kind of the standard now. So it's kind
like,
of poison. But
that's kind of why the Reddit Today I Learned TIL is so popular, right? Because people don't want to read the article, but they want to read the interesting thing. So people are like, TIL, that like monkeys gave rabies to something or something.
Sure.
And then people are like, I read that article. And then it's like, no, you didn't. You have no idea what caused this to begin with, why a monkey was talking to a fucking dog. Like, I don't know.
This is a weird example, but
yeah,
sure. It's like somebody read through a Wikipedia article and I was like, oh, cool. There's a fun fact in there. Post. No one else needs to read the article. They got the kernel they wanted. And
right.
Whereas, like, when I find a thing I think is interesting, people don't care. Like, Steven Seagal was a stunt coordinator on Sean Connery's last James Bond movie. No one cares. No one. He broke his wrist.
I'm with everyone else on that one. Sorry.
That's so crazy, right? Steven Seagal and Sean Connery worked together on a project.
No.
I guess, see?
Like, people in the same industry working together isn't crazy to me, I suppose.
But in the early 80s? And, all right.
Ever?
1983, dude.
That's why when people are just like, oh man, I'm working with this other indie game developer, it's like, well, yeah, that's what you guys do. You're both getting a paycheck out of it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's not a surprise. But okay. Fine. You're right. That's why I got like 2 upvotes.
You posted it?
Yeah. All right, so here's the thing with Reddit that I found out this week. I use Alien Blue exclusively, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's how I do, like, pretty much 99.8.
I use Bacon Reader.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but...
It's an app.
Okay.
I don't ever read Reddit on the computer. Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's a phone thing. So I was like, okay, I'm tired of all your bullshit, Reddit. I'm done with Advice Animals and Ask Reddit and Ask Science and World Politics and all this. I'm just going to unsubscribe from all y'all. Now the front page is only going to be the hottest, steamiest business I want to see.
Oh my god, really?
And
the only thing you're subscribed to right now is Rule 34?
Hey.
The only thing on the internet.
No, but of that ilk, sure.
Okay.
All my needs can't be met by one subreddit, but I hit front page expecting just that's my stuff. That's what I want to see. The only Reddit it pulls from is Calgary. Our Calgary. I'm just like, what?
It doesn't pull from Rule 34?
It doesn't. I don't know if it's something deep in the Reddit code or something where it won't pull from NSFW subreddits.
Oh, yeah, it probably doesn't.
But I went on Reddit on the computer to kind of be like, okay, where's that checkbox or something where I say, no, dude, it's cool. Like, I don't care. Just
I am an adult.
I am over 18.
Give me Mad Moxie.
Give me Mad Moxie sucking off everything all the time.
Velma, I guess.
Discords, boning every pony. Like, just whatever you got, let me see it. They don't do it. They just don't do it. So I unsubscribed from our Calgary. And then it's like, okay, Calgary Social Club. So I unsubscribed from Calgary Social Club, and now there's nothing. It's just front page, nothing. It's just like, what?
That's amazing.
Broken.
That's so good.
It's useless. So there's no way to just like take all your porny interests and put them into one master playlist. Won't do it. So pro tip for Redditors, like Reddit app makers, make that a thing. And you will have my business. Because that's what Reddit's for now. It's all it's for. Just when I'm feeling gross, go to Reddit.
So like all the time.
Yeah.
Just like at work in between shipments.
Yeah. Just like, well, finish the export.
Yeah. I'm just going to go to the bathroom for a while.
Yeah.
Leave your phone.
No, in that bathroom's too gross. Just get distracted.
That's not a bathroom you want to stay in longer than necessary.
That big bottle of Zep and the gross.
The Zep's fine. It's everything else in that bathroom. This Zep is the cleanest thing in that bathroom.
Gross. Yeah. So Reddit let me down. But you know what didn't?
What's that?
Casablanca Video on 4th.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, it's kind of a thing, but okay. So I used to work in the video store industry, Rogers Video, Blockbuster. The kind of big wig in town, the local indie darling video store was Casablanca Video. There were 2 locations, one in Marta Loop, one on 4th Street downtown. Apparently, since I last went to either of them, they parted ways and became like separate entities.
Okay.
So the one in downtown is Bogey's Casablanca. so Humphrey Bogart, and the Marta Loop one is still just Casablanca Video or whatever. The Bogies is closing, so they're having a giant clearance sale, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go feed on the carcass of this dying industry and buy some movies. So I went down.
You did it for Blockbuster. That's how I have Rise of Nightmares on that shelf.
Yeah, I have so many things from Blockbuster that I was pretty happy about. So yeah, I decided to head down there and do what I could. And yeah, I ended up spending a couple $100 on 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I needed some movies. I was just like, I am gonna spend about $200.
Okay.
And I'm gonna find me some stuff. And I was like, I misdid my math a little bit, went a little over, but whatever. I felt okay about it. Got me some Criterions and everything. But yeah, they did not have Mad City. Like, I asked them, they were just like, nah, like we don't.
For anybody that maybe skipped out on last time, and I don't blame you because the quality was kind of assish, I gave Nathan the homework assignment to track down and watch Mad City with Dustin Hoffman and John Travolta.
Yeah, because it was apparently kind of similar to a movie I watched last week called Ace in the Hole, which was about a reporter kind of using a story for his own gain. And Paul was like, oh, it sounds like this other movie, Mad City. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So yeah, I thought acquiring that movie would be super trivial. Like, I just went down to the local, like, secondhand shop and was just like, oh, yeah, they probably got it here. Check the action section, check drama. Then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to check the $2 section. Maybe it's, like, so disinterested, like, people just don't care about this movie. It's in here. It was nowhere. So I went across the street, went to the other pawn shop kind of place, checked there, nothing. Checked both Netflixes, obviously, before that. It wasn't there. So yeah, it was to a point where I was like, I guess I'm just not gonna, I don't know, like,
you illegally acquired it.
No.
Okay.
Here's the twist. Like, I went to illegally acquire it. That was my first course of action. I was like, all right, extra torrent, what do you got? Well, we have one seed for the German version. No, that's no good. Yeah. We have one with 0 with Swedish subtitles. I was like, well, that's terrible. And also, I can't get it anyway. So then I was like, all right, last ditch effort. Paul said maybe it's just full movie on YouTube. Let's check if there's some low quality
shit God. Okay.
On YouTube. And lo and behold, it is part of the YouTube rentals.
Amazing. Okay.
So it was just there for $3.99. And I was like, oh, well, like, I was willing to buy this movie like yesterday. So sure, like, let's click on this. The thing that kind of initially, like, just kind of creeped me out was, like, Google, even though I can't for the life of me imagine when I ever gave them this, they already totally knew my latest credit card number. They're just like, okay, hey, just click this button and start watching, son.
Oh,
and I was like,
Amazon.
Wait, how do you know that? What? But yeah, Amazon, but they're not related. Are they?
Well, you put it into a browser, right?
I totally put it into a browser, so I'm thinking maybe
is it Chrome?
Time I use, yes. So maybe it's the first time I use Chrome. They're just like, hey, do you want us to help you remember that thing? Yeah, okay. And then they just kept it on file for like years. And so I was finally like at the end of my rope. I was like, I need to watch Mad City.
You know what's impressive though? Is that they've probably had it for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's just been sitting on a server somewhere.
Sony had your credit card information for like 2 and fucked that up.
And they fucked it up like twice. I canceled it because I was worried that they compromised it or whatever. So yeah. Google's tight locked ship on that front. But yeah, whatever. They had a 480p like streaming version of it just there for $4, and it totally played fine. And yeah, I just loaded that up and watched Mad City earlier today.
So what do you think?
Oh man, that movie it's like it peaks so early.
Yeah,
like comparing it to Ace in the Hole, like that movie spends at least 15-20 minutes kind of setting up the characters and kind of the stuff. It is like minute 10 when it is just already on. Like they basically have Dustin Hoffman's character do a thing, like kind of like go for an interview with this dude. You're just like, okay, so I guess he's a little nosy or something. Then it's like, all right, you're off that story. Go do this trivial fluff piece at the museum. And then John Travolta walks in, pulls out the shotgun, and like shoots a guy at I thought the shooting thing would happen like late in the movie. He
Oh
just like
no, dude. So that
he basically
movie,
just proves his gun fires, and then by doing that, accidentally shot his friend, like his
yeah,
guard.
no, that's why I didn't have any qualms about telling you that even happened because
Yeah, it's
it
like
peaks at about like 20 minutes or so. Like everything happens to set
everything has
up.
happened by 20 minutes, and then it's just kind
Yeah.
of a matter of like tweaking his image and the media kind of getting horning in on the story and all that kind of stuff,
Right. Yeah.
which is like obviously the big center like moral dilemma of the movie of just like
Sure.
the news is too perversely interested in this kind of stuff, and like it's not his fault, like he's not even really, he's just a normal guy or whatever. It's like, yeah, but he committed a crime, like all this kind of stuff. But I don't know, it just, yeah, it started the show with the show stopping kind of stuff, and then just kind of kept going. Like it didn't really have building tension and rising stakes. It was
No.
just kind of, oh no, yeah, John Travolta just kind of made a mistake. Like you don't really feel like he's gonna actually do anything violent. Like, oh, then he shot a kid. Like it's like that just doesn't seem to be in his character as they establish him at all. And even like, so the thing I was kind of expecting, like with you comparing it to Ace in the Hole, is like Kirk Douglas's character is really manipulative. Like he is like playing this kind of larger game for his own gain and all this stuff like the whole time. Dustin Hoffman is sort of doing that, but he seems so much more genuinely helpful about it.
Well,
Like he
okay.
doesn't want John Travolta to
Dustin
die.
Hoffman is like in the shit sort of thing. So,
Yeah,
and like, yeah, he doesn't want him
just
to die,
happens to
whatever.
be
From
in
the
the back
sounds of it,
thing.
that role is the whole media in Mad City, though, instead of one dude.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
well, specifically Alan Alda, really. Like
Alan Alda, yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit in this.
Yeah, they like split up the Kirk Douglas character into like the good part, which is Dustin Hoffman, but he's still kind of in this morally compromised position.
Yep.
And then it's the gross part, which is personified by Alan Alda, but also kind of everybody else.
We killed him.
Yeah, yeah. That was the thing, though. Like, there was, like, fleeting things.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of weird that they had actual Larry King in it. Like,
yeah,
just acting. Like, he's just in a scene interviewing John Travolta's character, and like he's on the news and kind of probing him for like, you did this thing, and it's just like, this is so weird. Like this is just a real media personality, like news media, just in this movie. But yeah, and I kind of like seeing William Atherton actually there was like a couple character actors that I was just happy to see along the way, like Robert Prosky's in it. I always like seeing that guy. He was in Last Action Hero. He's the guy with like the tickets. He's the magic ticket owner that kicks off that whole movie. He's also in Gremlins 2 as like the vampire guy. But anyway, the end of the movie, like the last shot of
the last scene,
not even scene, like the final shot
where they're pulling out,
thought was kind of cool. Like it's like this kind of black hole of journalists just surround Dustin Hoffman. And it's just like this weird kind of like, it starts to slow and then it pauses, but like the cop lights are still going, so it looks like a freeze frame, but it isn't. It's like a living mosaic kind of thing or something.
Yeah,
it was cool. Like it was like, man, like end on a good thing, but like there was like 2 hours of kind of movie before it.
No, that ending, like that last scene is pretty great because like everything has kind of wrapped up as to what was going to happen. Dustin Hoffman comes out, and then like you said, they all swarm. It's just like, okay, this is like, yeah, they are like fucking just parasites. It's
the
gross.
Media, the swarming is kind of the best. Like, there's even a scene earlier in the movie where he lets two little girls out, like two hostages out, and the way like the horde of cameras and people with microphones just like rushes up the steps at them, like the kids are just like, oh, like it's just kind of like this ocean of people, just kind of like give us the exclusive. Like it's just kind of invasive.
It's basically like the old-timey personification of what Twitter is right now.
Kinda of like humans with microphones getting up in your face as opposed to just kind of...
Well, like something will happen, somebody posts it on Twitter, then it's like retweet all across the internet, and then it's just like trending and people keep talking about it. Like it's crazy.
Right,
so.
But if that was humans swarming a place to get firsthand look at the stuff
kind
of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of read up stuff about the movie, kind of looking before I went to buy it, and it was kind of weird to me seeing it was the same director as Missing, that movie I brought up a couple weeks ago, like the kind of political drama with Jack Lemmon that was kind of about this genocide in Chile. So like that filmmaker does like super political stuff typically. This is kind of like a ginned up fake scenario, so it's a little less pointy than some of his usual subject matter of like this is a real thing that happened. Like this was a like I guess his most famous movie is called Z, and it's about an actual political assassination that happened like a couple years before that movie came out. So it was like really topical. Whereas this is just kind of what if there was this hostage situation and a reporter was part of it and kind of involved really closely with what was happening. Like there is kind of some morally compromised stuff of like he is basically coaching John Travolta how to take hostages because it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're already in this boat and I've seen this before, so this is what you need to do. You need to have demands. You need to kind of turn the public opinion.
You like to let one black and one white go to show
Yeah,
you're not racist.
he's kind of micromanaging that. So it's like you don't want them to play the race card against you since you shot a black guy, so you need to release a black kid. Like, just it's kind of gross the way he's playing it, but like he's just kind of in very cold, neutral terms analyzing it. And there was kind of a thing I was kind of like appreciated them having it. Like there are 3 moments in that movie where the shotgun is just kind of left there.
Yeah.
And like he could end the situation, like just turn the situation. Like it is right there in his hands. Like he could stop it and he doesn't. And they don't kind of make that a big thing. Like you don't see like the close up of Dustin Hoffman's eyes. He's kind of like, oh, like, it's just kind of like those moments come and pass and you kind of just see him not act. So he does fail to take the moral high ground and like make something happen, because he knows this could work out well for his career or whatever. But they make that kind of internal struggle stuff like less the center than Ace in the Hole does. Like it's all kind of that reporter there, Alan Alda, that guy sucks, and he's using this for his own kind of gain and whatever.
No, it seems like what they did with Mad City is that they had a really good idea, and then they went through like different producers and studios and stuff, and everybody got their like little say on how to make this make money. So they took like
and they failed too, because
this decent story centric thing, and then like instead of making it something really thought provoking, they were like, okay, well, we need a bad guy because audiences don't like to think, they need to know who to hate and who to root for. We have our good guy who's just like the working man guy or whatever, so now we need a bad guy. Oh, it's this evil reporter.
Right.
So, like,
and
yeah,
I mean,
they dumbed it down a lot. Like, it was, I think, as a premise, it's quite strong. Like, it's a really strong premise, but it always did feel like, even when I was younger, that there was something missing. Is like, I don't know.
It doesn't quite all come together somehow. It doesn't add up to, like, great movie. It's just kind of got fleeting moments of real cool stuff, but it never kind of... Like, I'm kind of glad I just ended up renting it at the end. Like, I don't own it. Like, it doesn't have to take up any space.
You'll never watch it again.
Yeah, so, I really don't think so. But, sorry, I was trying to think. There was one more kind of thing. Oh, yeah. This movie did terrible at the box office.
Yeah, it did.
Like, that was kind of a thing I read. It was just like, it made $10 million and cost like 50.
Yeah.
So... between this and like Negotiator, barely, like it was at 47 million out of a $50 million budget. Like, I guess maybe just people don't like hostage movies. Maybe like, I'm trying to think if there's like a recent-ish big hit that's centered around that kind of like
big hit. Another one I can think of is Hostage.
Did that do well though? Like I remember that came and
did.
went. I know, like I don't remember that really lighting up the.
It honestly felt like it went straight to video.
It didn't though. Like I remember
I know.
like, oh, that's in theaters. Whatever. And then it just kind of.
And like for a Bruce Willis movie, right?
And that was like 9 years ago. It's 2005. Okay, that cost $75 million and basically broke even. It made $77.9 million.
Okay, I mean we can assume though the reason it broke even was because Bruce Willis was on the title card.
Sure, and he was kind of doing pretty good at that time. So
2005.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
What else was he in that time that like got people talking?
Tears of the Sun.
Oh, well, that got people talking, all right.
Yeah, 2003. No, I don't know. Like
Sin City, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, that was the same year.
Yeah.
So Here, let me type in Tears of the
Actually,
Sun.
no, you know what? You're
It's
right.
2003.
Early 2000s, he did like, well, Tears of the Sun, whatever. But he did that follow up to the whole 9 yards, whole 10 yards,
Yeah.
and like Unbreakable and stuff. Maybe people were just hoping it's like, no, this might be just like John McClane come back in
So
a different movie.
is he the negotiator? Like, is he a cop? Like,
No,
who
if
is
I
he?
remember, he goes into a house to
Okay.
like. I'm just trying to think of how this works.
Does he take hostages?
No, there's hostages in like mansion or house or whatever.
Okay.
Ben Foster, I'm pretty sure, is part of the ragtag crew doing the hostage taking.
Okay.
It's almost like Panic Room, only if Panic Room had like a special ops dude that was able to sneak in and like get the people out so they could kill the other guys or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to even think. Like, they have like Ted Levine as the cop, and there's like in Mad City, there's like a moment or two of like, oh, they're gonna try to shoot him, but they don't really amp up the tension on that front at all. Like,
Except for when John Travolta inexplicably goes to the window and starts shooting his gun in the air.
well, because he hates his wife.
Like, it's so dumb.
Like, his wife's yelling at him through the loudspeakers, just like, oh, I don't want to listen to you. And then he just runs to the window and starts shooting. And yeah, like, that was a mistake. But
again, like a studio exec or something wanted that in there. It's like, no, he has to shoot that gun and like threaten people at some point. How are we gonna make that work? Fuck, I don't know. Figure it out.
Like, okay, so his marriage is on the rocks, and his wife starts bitching him out, and he's like, nah, and he shoots that shotgun.
Giant mechanical spider. Figure it out.
Yeah, this was before that mandate was in there, but it's
make him mad. Make him mad, city.
There is weird amount of like just background rapping happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they briefly kind of go down the Ace in the Hole route of like, oh, there's this big media circus and like people are gathering around and just kind of hanging out. And yeah, there's like t-shirts that say like, man, remember Cliff, who is the guy that got shot like yesterday in the timeline? And then yeah, there's like some freestyle rapping happening. Like people just rapping about like Cliff and him being hurt and he's the black guy and all this, and just like, this is weird. Yeah, I don't know.
What was his name again in that movie?
Huh?
What was his name again? John Travolta's name.
Sam Bailey.
Sam Bailey.
Yeah. And I think Dustin Hoffman's character was like Max, and his last name was like Becken or Brecken or like something.
Max Brecken? Something like that.
Brennan, something like that. It was a weird name. I never quite got a handle on it, but whatever. It doesn't matter now. Movie's over. So yeah, that is a way to watch movies, I guess. You can buy it on YouTube for a day.
Yeah.
2 days, I guess. Once you click start on it, you have 48 hours in which to finish it.
Also, like, for anybody that hasn't seen this before, to get to it, you go youtube.com/videos.
I guess, or just type what you want in it, and if it's available, it'll be, like, prominent. But, yeah, it was a way to watch it, I guess. And I mean, I don't, like... Yeah, there's like an image or two in it that was kind of novel, and I don't mind seeing Dustin Hoffman like ever really. So I was okay with it overall. But yeah, it like lost steam really quick. Like, it's just like the thing happens, and it's just like, and it just kind of like slowly declines, and then it has a cool thing at the very, very, very final seconds, and then it's over. So
also, sorry, it's youtube.com/movies. I realize I said videos.
Okay.
Videos is just like how you get to like what's hot in YouTube.
Yeah, and I think on YouTube, 2 people clicked like and 3 clicked dislike. So there you go.
Okay. Controversial, really.
Yeah. If I had to click one, man, I mean, it's such a like yes no decision, right?
I could tell you how I would go.
Yeah.
I would go like for the content for the price, dislike the fact that it's 480p only.
I guess so.
That's kind of weird.
It really doesn't need to be like super HD or anything.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that it's just like 480p.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
It was better than like 140p or whatever the hell
it's 144.
Kingpin was. Yeah. Like, I watched Kingpin on YouTube, just like bootleg, and it was terrible quality. So this was significantly better than that.
I'm thinking of renting RoboCop. It's on
Okay,
YouTube here.
cool,
Oh,
man.
so is Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, sweet. I like that movie a lot. I should buy that.
I like YouTube. I know you're like, oh, I hate internet, but
Oh, like
YouTube's
as
pretty
an
good.
actual video service, it's fine. It's just they are so like they just do not care about what is that content. They just want eyeballs. They don't care who's making it, how bad it is, or anything. So it's just
Like what?
open season. Oh, I don't know.
Game dudes.
Yeah, like what playing half
There's
of a
there's
game?
just someone there's just someone at YouTube or at Google. They're
It's like
just like,
what is
oh, we
this?
gotta ban these guys. They're
They
talking
didn't
bad
even
about Silent
finish
Hill. They didn't
in
even know to get this.
they're stuck on the same piano thing for like 2.5 episodes. That's a
Yeah,
waste of everybody's time.
bad.
Delete.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was. That's the channel I'm most disgusted with. Is those game dudes, guys, just riding high.
By the way, on YouTube, it's them game dudes. But yes,
Yeah, yeah. Those game dudes, guys. That's a different
those
channel.
game dudes on Twitter, them
Yeah.
game dudes on YouTube.
Okay.
Anyways,
So yeah, Mad City. I finished my assignment. I did my homework. I slipped in just under the deadline. Watched it earlier today.
yeah.
So
But
yep.
to be fair, it sounded like you had some trials to try to even find it.
No, the actually, honestly, like, thank you so much for giving me a trial because the thrill of the hunt was great. Like, it was just
Yeah.
like I have a mission today. I gotta go find this movie, and I was like going around looking through the shelves, and it was fun to have a goal on just the shopping front like that. That was fun. It's
Well,
kind of boring.
You had
that
3 days off.
Yep.
What else did you do? Like, if that's not your whole 3 days, is it?
No. I mean, like, the shopping stuff yesterday was kind of my last phase of the actual going out shopping front. And, like, I made kind of a day of the Casablanca trip. Like, I met up with a friend of mine who I used to work at the
Okay.
video store with, and we talked about movies and stuff, had supper and everything. So, yeah, Saturday? No, that's what it would be in a normal person's weekend. Monday, that's what happened. And today was kind of just some family stuff and more unpacking and whatever. And I, as kind of background unpacking stuff, I just threw in season 4 of Mad Men, and I like that show so much. Oh, it's so good.
How have you felt about the new place now that you're kind of there?
Now that it's becoming more established as a home, I guess I'm excited for when we have found a place for everything, and I can just get back to like, oh, I want to, kick back, or like, oh, I'm going to actually start a little creative thing over here, or like read a book or something. Like, I can get comfortable. Whereas right now I feel kind of guilty every time I'm kicking back because it's like, oh, there's a big thing to do. Like right off screen here, not that people can see it anyway, there's just a mountain of boxes, fresh boxes from downstairs because we were just storing stuff in my mom's apartment until today. So,
Are you feeling better about like the place where you live and stuff? Because I mean, I'm assuming you walked to the like store to look around at for the DVD and stuff.
Yeah. I don't actively feel in danger and stuff. It's more just like
that McDonald's trip though. Holy shit.
Just like two, I guess 3 sketchy people, and then just like an alarm went off that was just kind of like, we're done. I don't even know
we're
what that
leaving
was.
now. Yep.
Like, let's just get out of here. So yeah, dude, I don't even know, like, just drunk or high or what, but
should we set the scene?
If you can, I'm bad at telling the story. Apparently.
Okay.
I tried to explain it to Brittany, and she was like, okay. I was like, no, dude, he was so weird. But
okay, so there we are minding our business. Just wanted to grab a cheeseburger after lunch, after work, after lunch. A cheeseburger after lunch.
After lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After lunch cheeseburger. No, after work. We walk into the McDonald's. Everything seems fine until 2 strange men. I was going to say something rude, maybe, but I'm sure they're totally nice people, if not for the fact that they are likely meth heads.
Yeah.
So, one guy I thought was mentally handicapped, because the first thing he asks when he gets up to the counter is, I want some napkins and salt? Was that it?
I think it was, I want some ketchup and pepper.
Ketchup and pepper?
and napkins.
Two condiments and napkins.
But
he was
the way I
adamant that he
remember
wants
it
napkins.
Is the first sentence out of his mouth to the man taking the order was,
I have
a camera.
The first thing that this weird crackhead says when he walks in, totally serious, I have a camera.
I was like, is that a threat? Like, what does that mean? Like, I was just standing there, like, third in line.
Major props to, like, weird, like, dude working at the counter, though, because he didn't bat an eye. He was just like, well, okay, how can I help you?
Yeah, it's just like,
okay.
I want ketchup and pepper. Okay,
which leads me closer to my thesis that people that work at McDonald's are, in fact, robots. They are no longer people. They get replaced, and they are just...
Oh, I don't know. There was kind of a fidgety human quality to the way that guy was reacting to the strange things happening on the other side of the counter. But he didn't, like, break character.
Do you think he was a trained assassin? He was of Asian descent.
No. I think he was kind of like...
He was fidgeting because there was a katana underneath the cash register. And
like, if I need to go for this, I'm ready. No, I don't think that was it at all. I think it was just like... I don't know, like... I am doing my best to deal with this in a way that is just getting things done, but I am also uncomfortable, but I have to do my job kind of thing. Like, you're stuck in a bad position. Like, it's kind of just like, I don't know, like when you're playing Papers, Please, and someone walks up with just total bullshit that they hand you, what do you do? Like, it just kind of, it phases you for a bit.
That reminds me, yesterday, I had somebody call looking for our place at work. And she got pissed off because I was using terms like go east on this street or north on this street instead of saying go left.
Okay. Just like turn left at the big sign.
Like, not even that. It was just like, okay, so you're going to go north on Barlow. Okay, is that left or right? I'm like, where are you? 48th. Where on 48th? Like, I don't know. Is it left or right? It's like, are you fucking serious right now?
It's like, how would I know that? Because I don't know what position you're facing. Like,
right.
Fantastic.
So I ended up being like, okay, what do you see right in front of you? A big overpass. Okay, you've gone way too far. Turn around, go on McKnight, going the other way. Okay. Then you're going to turn right at the lights. Okay. Yeah. Then just keep going down that road until you can't go anymore and you see a building on the right. Jesus. Okay, I'll see you soon. And the whole time she was swearing at me and stuff. So it was,
wow, it's just like, be my GPS for me. I don't know how to get places. Like, it's just, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay, so whatever. Dude walks up. I have a camera. I want ketchup and pepper. Okay. He gives him the ketchup and pepper and then turns to the other gentleman and says, okay, what do you have? And then dude kind of gets a little just like, what? I haven't even placed my order yet.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that's all you wanted. I have a camera. Fish.
How much for a fish sandwich?
Like $4.95.
That's an outrage. I'll have two.
Yeah, and then like his kind of bearded compatriot is being all sarcastic in a way that I'm not sure if he's actually irritated or not. Like, he's saying similar things. I'm just like, well, that's highway robbery, but okay. And it's just like, really? It's like $5?
Like highway robbery for two things is like a couple bucks. Yeah, I guess. Well, when you're used to having everything for free because you are stealing it from people, I guess everything is. Well, I guess technically you are the highway robber, so everything is free for you.
So dude orders 2 fish sandwiches and kind of starts handing us extra napkins and just kind of, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable. And then, beard guy orders a Big Mac or something and is just kind of weirdly sarcastic about stuff.
Well, I'll get him out of here now. It's like, get the fuck out. Like,
just go away.
Just leave.
Like, it's not actually funny. Like, it's not a wink nod. It's actually, please leave. I'm scared. So, I was, and then they didn't have the poutine I wanted. So, But okay, then we sat down and this guy I noticed, and I don't know if he mattered to you at all.
The Native American guy?
No, I don't think so.
The skinny white crackhead?
Yes, skinny white crackhead.
Okay. The one that went outside and just stood by the vehicles.
Like, would just ominously stare at people walking.
And then as a normal dude with headphones on leaves to like go to his house, walking through the dark parking lot, he starts trailing him a little bit and then stops and stares at him.
Yeah, it was
That guy.
perfect. Like if I had photo of it, it'd be like that's how I'd frame my like horror movie like setup. Like it's so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, so that guy earlier was standing near the soda machines just like scrubbing his hands with a napkin in a way that just made me like I don't know what
Well,
that
they're covered in blood.
or maybe they were just prior like I was honestly like thinking it was like a withdrawal symptom itch or something weird. It was my initial like bad thought as to what might be wrong.
Right.
But
All
yeah,
those damn beetles in his skin.
oh, I gotta scratch him out or something. It just seemed like that feverish in this way. I was just like, I'm just gonna get some brisk iced tea and go sit down. And then the fire alarm went off, and I was like, all right, we gotta go. I don't know what's. I don't want to know what's next because this just keeps going weird.
Yeah, if there's an alarm going off, I don't care what alarm it is. We're done.
Yeah, I'm just assuming there's like now robbers come in to rob the place, and I don't know why they rob McDonald's at midnight, but so yeah, that was the end of that. I don't know. Yeah, ominous McDonald's. Okay, change gears entirely. So last week I talked about how incredible Evangelion was getting.
Yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, 1995 anime, giant robot stuff. People really excited about it.
Yeah.
I have since seen the final episodes of that show, and I am still struggling to express what it is that happens. Like, it is... I've heard it described as strange.
Is it the, like, Poochie syndrome, where it's like, I have to go now, something happens, and...
No. Like, I mean, part of that scenario was they didn't really tell... No, whatever. I'm just going to say no, it's not like that. Man... The frustrating part about it is it just seems to kind of completely disregard like conventions.
Just go ahead and say what happens.
I can, and it won't actually really spoil drama in a conventional way.
I don't even care. It's anime. Who fucking cares?
It's okay. I did for a while, and now I don't know how to feel anymore.
Okay.
So around episode 13 or 14, there was like a thing that happened in that show that I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Like this is some next level business happening.
What's that thing?
So the Evangelions, they kind of start to get into what they're actually all about. For like the whole series, like the first 13 episodes of that show, it is just these teenage pilots using these giant kind of creature mech things to battle these weird creatures that are trying to destroy humanity.
Yeah, kaiju movies.
Yeah, like every single week there's a new thing for them to deal with, and they team up and fight it. Then, like halfway through the series, they finally go like, oh yeah, by the way, these giant creatures like are their own sentient beings that we are controlling, and that is not battle armor. That is like restraints on them to keep them under control.
So they're enslaving them.
They're enslaving these creatures, and one of them starts to kind of break out, and it's fucking awesome. Like, it's just like, its shoulders burst out. It's just all weird. Like, the animation is crazy, detailed, and high quality, and it just makes this weird roar sound. And I was just like, this is fantastic stuff right here. This is some top grade kaiju business. A+, wow. Like, if this keeps up on this wavelength, I am so understand why everyone is way into this. Like, flash forward like 10 episodes, and the last 2 episodes of that show take place entirely within one character's mind, and it's kind of him like wrestling with all these other people's souls merging with his, and it's just kind of like
he is the next Evangelion.
No, dude, no. Like, I would basically describe it as, like, the show is about giant, like, teenagers piloting giant things, fighting giant monsters for, like, 3/4 of it. Then it starts getting hyper-focused on, like, specific characters and their motivations and personal stuff. And I'm okay with that, too. Like, it does it in pretty interesting ways. And then the last 2 episodes are, like, an experimental, like, Art Nouveau play where it's just, like, a chair lit by a spotlight with, like, one actor and like just like random images from like their childhoods and other people's childhoods, and just it's like super razor focused on like this one guy and his issues with his father and like reality splintering and all this kind of stuff.
So they didn't understand what people liked about it, and they lost their minds, basically.
The way I kind of characterized it was here's the story in my mind. The guy who wrote this show, Hideaki Anno, he was getting towards the end of this season of the show, and he's just like, I have yet to express what I really wanted to say with this show, so I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna have like a giant monologue, essentially, that's just explaining.
It sounds like he fucked up.
I would consider it dramatic satisfaction wise as completely fucking up. Like, it just completely disregards everything that was building up about the mystery of what's going on with all these creatures and characters, and just becomes super interested in this like philosophical idea of like what is self and who are you and what is it that like this kind of like, I guess, interesting take on a coming of age story. But I'm
not even interested in this, and I'm pissed off.
It's so weird. Like, it was just like I don't know. I was kind of really in awe of how completely out there it was. Like, it was kind of reminding me of the last moments of Tree of Life, which I hated, and the last minutes of 2001, which aren't why I like that movie. Like, they're just kind of like weird and visual, strange stuff, but kind of bullshit. Like, you could describe what that kind of writing is as going up its own ass, right? Like, it's just postmodern to the point where it's like super unconfident about laying something out in a straightforward way, and just gets like all super cryptic and whatever. Like, in the last like 4 episodes of that show, they introduced so many new terms and like just completely new things that are going on that you're just like, this was not set up at all. Like, I was paying attention. This was never teased. Like, it would just be like I don't know, like, you know how in Attack on Titan, not that I'm saying they're equatable shows exactly, but
they're equatable because they're anime.
They're anime. So. Like, you know how there is that kind of like constant tease of like what's in the basement.
You know what? I don't know if it's actually constant. It just felt constant because that's the only thing I really cared about. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they at least establish this missing piece of information, right?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Like, there is a question that lingers over that show. Whereas this was like just going along, and they're just like, oh, right. Yeah, we got to, like, they just kind of like pop the question and then start to answer it in the same episode. And you're just like, that wasn't even a question I was thinking about. Like, what are you talking about? Well, what is self? What are you? Who like, the Human Instrumentality Project was actually this. And you're just like, what is the Human Instrumentality Project? You have never said those words until now, and it's episode like 22. You're just like, yeah. Also, there's this new character in like the 24th episode. What? He's really important. What? Like, it's just like, I was so like thrown off by like how
this just doesn't sound good. Like,
it was so good for so long though. It's so weird. Like, it's like,
I'm talking about what they did though. Like,
I know.
Like I said, I have no investment in the series or anything, but the way you're describing it is
incredibly like
that somebody fucked up. Like, just they straight up fucked up and they fucked something good up.
Like, I brought it up to like with my friend who I met up at the video store. I was just kind of talking to him about it. Like, he watched the show like a decade ago, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's Gynax. Like, that's a true Gynax ending right there. They just always do that. And I'm just like, I guess, but it like, to me, it felt like a totally changed character. Like, it was just like, it like pretended the show was all about this one guy the whole time. And I guess you could say it was because it like opens with him and stuff. But the things it had going on was like the team dynamic and all this other stuff. And they just kind of were like, no, it's all about this. Like, it kind of reminded me like the last episode of Lost pretends it was all about Jack the whole time. And you're just like, I don't care about that. I care about this stupid mystery island. Like, what is going on? Right. Yeah, well, Jack dies and he saved everyone. I don't care. Like, what was with the horse in this episode? You know, it's really all about Jack. Like, it's just, it felt like that kind of just bait and switchy kind of thing of just like, hey, giant weird mystery about like this apocalyptic. Actually, it's about this one teenager and him struggling with his you know, his dad and all these kind of personal issues. And you're just like, okay, well, like, that's more relatable, but like, this is the weirdest way to go about it ever. So yeah, I don't know. Final point on that, I guess I'm going to watch all those movies, see if I can figure out what, like, To me, it almost seems like this is a Blade Runner situation where Blade Runner came out and was fucked. Like, it was fucked up. It was not good. 10 years later, they got to like tweak it and it got a little better. And then 5 years after that, the final cut came out. And now it's regarded as like, oh yeah, Ridley Scott made a genius piece of science fiction right there. Whereas before it was like not that. So I'm wondering if the movies are kind of them doing their director's cut and like changing it and making it more dramatically satisfying and stuff. I don't know.
Can I read you an excerpt? I'm quickly just like skimming Wikipedia on this.
Yeah, okay.
Following the conclusion of the series' original television broadcast, the public and critical reception to Neon Genesis Evangelion was polarized, particularly with regard to the final 2 episodes.
Yeah.
The experimental style of the finale confused or alienated many fans and spawned debate and controversy. Hideaki Anno received anonymous online death threats. The criticism was largely directed toward the lack of storyline resolution in the final 2 episodes. Opinion on the finale was mixed, with the audience broadly divided between those who considered the episodes, quote, deep, and those who felt their meaning was, quote, more apparent than real. Okay. You know what that says to me? Is that people will make excuses for anything when people fuck up something they like.
Well, it's kind of this weird thing where it was like, as I was watching it, I was like, this is like kind of thoughtful, introspective writing, but why is it here? Like, it's just like, why did you put this in this show in this way at this time? Like, like, if you remember last week, I was kind of describing like, oh man, I'm actually getting really impressed with like the narrative arc of this show because it kind of hooks you in with the monster week, and then it starts kind of, now that you're here, starts elaborating on the crew and kind of the mystery and like getting into more of the characters' specifics and like fleshing things out. And I was like, that's a really cool way of kind of just pacing your narrative, of just kind of like hit the ground running, and then once everyone's kind of already on board, start kind of getting deeper. But then it just kind of completely goes so far outside of that at the last minute. Like, it's like it blinks or something. Like,
I think the term is up its own ass, by the way.
It seems to honestly like lose confidence or something. Like, it's just like, I don't want to just write a bullshit like anime story about giant things. That's dumb. I want to write this thing about like what it means to be a teenager and kind of all these like themes that kids need
so
to
they fucked
see.
it up.
I don't know. Like, in terms of telling a compelling drama, yeah, but I'm no longer sure if they ever wanted to do that or what. I guess also I'm like incredibly impressed that why would anyone trust this dude with like this like that would never happen in a network show here, of just like, oh yeah, the last 2 episodes they're not at all like the rest of the show. They're just all inside this one guy's brain and he kind of sits in a chair and thinks about life and stuff. No, what? Like, it's like at the end of Twin Peaks or something. If it's just like, yeah, we don't actually talk about the murder at all. It's not even set in the same town. We just leave or something. It would just be like, you can't just like make a different show for the last 2 episodes. That's just, who would let that happen? Japan, apparently. Like, they would just be like, yeah, bro.
That's why they lost the war.
I guess so. I don't know. It was.
You heard it here first. Something. The end of Evangelion. The reason.
Yeah.
Japan was nuked.
Yeah. I would not like sum up my thoughts just like, oh, it's bullshit, I didn't like it. It was just like that it found a new and interesting way to completely like disappoint me. Like, just like, oh, that's not what I thought I was going to get at all. But I have never seen something do that quite like that.
For a dude who's been disappointed countless times in the last year that I can remember,
a new way to do it.
They surprised you with how disappointing they could be.
It was such a roundabout way to like totally pull a fast one on me. Like, it was just like amazing. I was kind of in awe of it as I was watching. I'm just like, I've heard the ending is weird. I would never have imagined this is what they would have done with it. I thought like, oh, the whole world ends, or like this character dies, or like all this stuff happens with these people or whatever. It's just like, no, it just does not tell stories the same way for the last 2 episodes at all. Like, it just becomes like something completely different. And I don't know. I don't know why it would do that, but it does. And yeah. Evangelion. There's movies. There's like a decade.
There's another one for the barrel. Throw it in.
I'm not going to throw it in the barrel. I'll
throw it in for you.
Don't throw it in the barrel.
It's in.
It's not barrel.
That's it. Setting on fire. Because burning barrel. Taco.
Okay, I wouldn't put it in the barrel, but
it's in the barrel.
It's not.
How about this? It's in the barrel. It's in the barrel.
Yeah.
But the fire is not going yet.
Well, okay. I kind of want to if it was just a straightforward action robot show and it just ended with like some big fight or something, like it wouldn't linger in my memory the way a complete mindfuck thing they did does, you know?
Yeah, but it would have made sense.
But I don't know. I don't mind chewing on something a lot. So...
Well, then you're just as bad as anyone else making excuses for it because you liked this other thing.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, Attack on Titan is too blue-collar, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, it's too straightforward. So...
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Like, I'll take weird over that, but I don't know. Like, it's
that's not weird. It's unfocused. Like, completely.
No, I know, but that's cool. Like, a creative struggle.
No, it's not, because then you're just saying anybody can do whatever they want at any times because whatever.
I'm saying bullshit. They're going to anyway, and they are.
Well, yeah, because Japan.
Well, no, I'm saying just narrative, like, you know, like writing everywhere. Like, you can just do what you want. Like, it's not like... I don't know. It at least seems to, like, try to do something and totally fails, whereas a lot of things are just trying to be... But I guess that it does it in such a kind of like, it's like it hides its true form for like 24 episodes. And it's just like, actually, it's just kind of a teenage poetry, like angst thing. And you're just like, oh,
this is
okay.
This is legitimately getting me pissed off.
Yeah.
Talking about it because that's holy shit.
It's self-indulgent,
especially the way you just phrased it, where it's like for 24 episodes, it's this monster thing that it's like teenage poetry. It's like that. I don't know what it is, but those terms you put together just made me infuriated. Like I am ready to just fucking punch my monitor right now.
Okay. I don't know. It was a surprise though. Like,
okay, a surprise is probably the best term you could use.
It's like surprise punch. It was like, wow.
You know what
I was not ready for that.
It was rape.
No, it wasn't.
Because it's like, oh no, this sex is good. Then you realize it's a dude. You're just like, I got raped.
No.
Lols? Like, I don't know.
Oh, he was so nice.
Yeah, surprise sex.
Yeah, Hideaki Anno.
Throwing it in the barrel.
No. Like, man.
Get in there, Hideaki. You're Japanese. You probably fit.
Like, it's hard to really, like an interesting failure. I've enjoyed those before. So that's fine to me. Like, if you're going to, like, if someone's going to go and say, like, oh man, no, you just don't get it. It's like some of the best writing ever or something.
That's what I thought you were starting to do.
No.
That's why I was just like, I'm going to cut you off at the legs here.
No.
Because that is not right.
Like, there were literally lines of dialogue that I was just like, I can't help but wonder if like something is lost in translation or if it's actually like this. Like if I was to just act out some of the lines as written in English for me, like they would just sound so cheesy, like just incredibly like, or like, for example, there was like just kind of dramatic structure stuff that was just like, that's just not how you tell a story in a way that appeals to humans. Like, it's like, hey, there's this like German girl character who's been there for like 12, like, you know, since episode 10 or something. Like she's been in the show for quite a while. And then like in the final act, they're just like, oh yeah, she actually this whole time has had these lingering traumas about her mom committing suicide that happened. And you're just like, why are you telling me this now? Like, it just seems like structure issues of just like, that's usually stuff that is like fundamental to the character before, not like unearthed at the end. But I guess, you know, you could like introduce it late in the game, but I don't know what kind of impact you're expecting, because at this stage so much has happened without that being in mind. So is it a show that wants you to rewatch it and then be like, oh, that's why she was so stressed out at that point, because of this thing, and now I know? Or is it not written that way? Like, I don't know. It's a lot of weird little things coming to mind. Like, it's like, it seems to just like be like one kind of show and then a completely different kind of show, and that's how it happened. So whatever. Evangelion. I am not an expert. I am super late to this party. It came out 19 years ago. I still like Panty and Stocking a lot more. Like,
it's great. Yeah.
If you want a Gynax show that, I mean, they do a bullshit, weird, stupid twist ending, but it seems in character with how random and dumb that show is. So it's fine. Whereas this is like goofy, pretty darn serious, incredibly self-serious, and then it's over.
Well, at least I guess there's progression if you put it in those terms.
Yeah, so is it like modeled after evolution or something like that? All right.
It's in the barrel.
That's the review. I don't know.
That's the sound of the barrel.
That's the. I would not burn this show. It is still something of interest to me, but I don't know. It is maybe hold off on that. You should watch it, because there's like a bunch of, like, there's not a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. It's full of like just kind of sad, like just full of tears. It's just like teen angst is in there.
Speaking of full of tears.
Yeah.
Capcom is selling their company.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to kind of bring that up earlier when we were talking about Resident Evil, but...
Yeah, that would have made a better segue anyways, so Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom, also in Japan, so...
If I had money, I would probably buy Capcom.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
Because then I would get all the Resident Evil swag.
Okay. Like, I didn't really read
I could print Resident Evil shirts and, like, they'd be official.
Yeah.
So
like, Sexy Jill is just canon.
Rule 34 Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a nude code or anything. She's a nudist.
No, that's just the game.
Yeah. We wrote a reason for it, too. She's just way into that. That's just what she's about. She keeps the hat on, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. Like, some people have been speculating Konami.
Really?
Konami Capcom? That would be kind of an interesting combination right there.
It's like Japan and Japan, double Japanin.
Yep.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I'm just trying to think of what they would even do, like Metal Gear version of Resident Evil or something.
Did they say they were in trouble or something? I didn't read into this. Like, why are they selling, like...
They must be, right?
But like, why? Did they have, like, a big flop or something? Like, Resident Evil 6 didn't do great, but... I don't know.
It did better than it probably should have.
Yeah.
From what I'm to understand.
I mean, Bionic Commando didn't do well, but that was, like, 6 years ago, and Grin closed because of it, so... Yeah, that was, like, a third-party thing for them. Like, third-party because Capcom, but, I mean, it was external development for them as well, so... Dark Void. I mean, they had some flops last gen, for sure. But, yeah. I don't know. Like, someone said Nintendo on Twitter.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, they go back to that kind of same timeline and whatever. Like, Mega Man is kind of part of that NES roster of people, like, of characters, right? Like, they've been hanging out for a long time. I mean, Capcom made a bunch of portable Zelda games. Like, the Capcom 5 on GameCube was kind of a deal they made. Like, they have a lot of shared history. That would make more sense to me. Konami, I mean, sure, they're both Japanese companies that make video games, but something about Nintendo and Capcom seem like they're more on the same page.
You know what Capcom should do?
What?
Is they should be bought out by Netflix, and then Netflix should open up, like, a gaming version.
And it's like, hey, you can play Mega Man 2 right in your browser. And it's like, what?
No, okay. Not just that.
Okay.
Like, you know that Street Fighter 4 Ultimate Edition that just came out or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, just plug this controller into your television.
Yeah.
And you're done. You're good. As long as you
Yeah.
have an internet connection. That would,
That's
with smart
really
TVs and stuff,
yeah.
that's the way to go right there. That would be amazing. But I mean, oh yeah, I don't know. You would need so many companies to get on board for that.
Yeah, that sounds like a complete bizarre pipe dream that would never happen.
And like the worst headache ever, probably.
It's like Netflix just decides to completely sidetrack their business and be like, yeah, we're going to get into video games in this really weird way. We're putting like Tetsunoko versus Capcom on Netflix, and you just hit play as part of your subscription and you play this fighting game. No.
But I'm reading a little bit more into this. It doesn't sound like they're actually selling Capcom.
Okay.
What they did is that the shareholders opened up. They ended the like, oh, we can't sell this ever defense they had up on the company.
Yeah.
So they're saying like, no, if somebody has a price tag, we might consider it.
Oh, so it's just like Capcom is open for business, but we're not like sinking or anything.
Right, we're not looking, we haven't gotten an offer sort of thing, but like, if Nintendo wanted to give us $100 billion, like,
I'd go, yeah, all right.
Like, this dude over here needs a new Mercedes, so, I mean, he might be into that. Like, that sort of thing.
I mean, Nintendo does have a couple $1 billion that they could use.
They have more than a couple billion.
I know,
Let's
they
not
have, like,
kid ourselves.
a good shore of cash. So if they wanted to, that would be cool. I don't know.
But then that means they could only fail consecutively for 20 years instead of 50.
Yeah, don't want to...
Actually, that would suck, because I would still be alive for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too phased by that, really. Like, what was the last Capcom game I got really excited about?
Resident Evil 5.
No, got excited about it, and then was immediately like, oh.
I don't know, what was?
Dead Rising 2, maybe?
Yeah.
I think that was after that.
Another Dead Rising.
I got pretty up on that.
The first one was pretty good, though.
Like that new Devil May Cry game, like, I just didn't
really
like it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I like Enslaved and everything, but...
Did you like Remember Me?
I mean, I played through the whole thing.
So, yeah?
Kinda. I like things about it.
I guess you weren't excited about it, though. You were just kind of like a happy surprise that you got for free, right?
No, I got it real cheap in the Steam sale. But yeah, it was just kind of I'll play through this, and then I'm like, I'm so barely interested in this that if I don't finish this right now, I will never finish it, but I'm not angry at it, so I guess I'll finish it. So I fought my way through it.
Speaking of Steam sale, they're saying it should be any day now.
Okay. I guess I haven't really...
Prepare your wallet, Nathan.
I don't think I need to. I spent that wallet on movies because I like it.
It sounds like it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of... I can't remember the actor's name, but Gus in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah. What about him? He was in Community as well.
Yeah, so he is now in Payday 2.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, yeah. It's DLC you can buy. He's a new contact, so new stuff.
Okay, sure. That guy's got
added a huge bank. Like the biggest bank heist.
Bank hike. Yeah,
bank hike, where you walk around the bank times.
Wait, is he like the voice in your ear then? Like the guy giving you jobs?
I think so, yeah.
That would be great, because I hate that guy that is in there right now. So
yep, I hate all of them. But,
sure. As long as he doesn't have super repetitive lines.
The Dentist.
Ooh. Okay.
He represents a large clientele whom he refers to as his patients. He is a determined, meticulous planner who has taken a great interest in the Payday gang. He is the only one who knows how to free old Hoxton. What?
Oh, yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
That's his name. You're right.
Yeah.
But so
sure. Cool, man.
And new masks, they're in there now. The forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
So more presidents, because we're Americans, so we care about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we sure are. This Swedish-made game.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, That would be a kind of cool voice to hear again in the same kind of
criminal context.
Yeah, especially if he's just kind of like the calm demeanor, like we're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know why I brought that up. It just kind of struck me because if you look on the store page or like the storefront page for Steam, you just see his face and it's like Payday 2 now available sort of thing. It's like, whoa, okay, I think I missed out on something, but no.
I guess video games wise, literally all I've been doing is Tomodachi Life.
Okay, I stopped with that like right away, so
yeah,
it's boring.
There's, I mean, it's like, oh, it's getting boring. I'll just throw a new person in, but that only works for so long.
That only works for the first like 20, probably.
Well, I got like 30 some people now.
Nicholas so you've been lying to yourself that whole time.
Yeah,
I guess is what I'm getting at.
I mean,
like,
it's
a new game with a new person. Like, no, it's the exact same shit.
Now there's one more person who can say, I'm hungry. Okay. Play a game with me. Who is this? And it's like shadowed or pixelated or zoomed in or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know. Is it this? Is it a pierogi? No, you idiot. It's ravioli. Okay.
I'm considering going back in and deleting everybody that's not a person on Twitter. At least.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, Batman is marrying like this person. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. It's only ever funny when it's like, oh, weird. This weird, like, simulated version of a person I know is marrying another simulated person I know. That's
and
weird.
It does that well. It really does.
Like, that stuff's fun. But then, when it's like Anthony and Splotki are hanging out, it's just like, why did I add those?
Also, I want to do a quick call out here.
Who are those people? Yeah,
because on Spaghetti Cast, they were talking about this game a little bit.
Yeah.
And they brought up something about how I was saying I wanted multiplayer functionality. That's not at all what I want in that game. Yeah. What I want in that game is a simple way, like, share this with friends. I don't want to necessarily have to go, or, like, want to go to someone's island and hang around with their Miis, because a lot of the same Miis are on my island, and, like, they're doing their own thing. What I want to be able to do is, like, maybe peek in, or, like, get, like, a message board sort of thing. Like, you go to, like, they could have just like a weird little internet station, like a cyber
what's
cafe.
Happening on your friend's islands?
Well, so you're at your main map, right?
Yeah.
There's a new area that opened up, the cyber cafe. So you go there, and then this like little simulated computer screen comes up, and you can see pictures of like what's going on that people saved on their DS.
Sure, just like highlights or something.
I just want some multiplayer functionality with the internet. I don't want to play the game with people, because that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Whereas the way it seems to be now is just like there's a really kind of clunky way to put stuff on Twitter and Facebook.
If you don't have Twitter and Facebook, guess what? You're fucked. You're not going to have fun.
That's the multiplayer component. I'm just
or like you could have fun by yourself, and while you're at it, why don't you go circle jerk, you fucking loser? Like, I don't know. What's the point of this game if it's not to share just dumb shit, anecdotes or something?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really just weirds me out is all the stuff you're doing the bullshit minigames for and, like, answering trivia questions and all this stuff. All the items you get are garbage.
I hate the minigames. I
hate the minigames.
Catching the pencil is the worst. Or, like, catch one.
The catching thing, I fuck up every single time first time.
I don't necessarily fuck it up. It's just not good. Or, what's this Mii's favorite color? Like, I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck? Seriously.
Like, does this person have the same personality as this person? No.
You
idiot. Yes, they do. They're
the
easygoing
best mini game in there is the Match 2 one. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and because it's an actual just little mini game.
Oh, it's kind of like a little game, and it's like,
it doesn't require you to know intricate details about somebody else's me.
Right. Like, it's stupid.
Or the other one I hate is like, are they wearing the same clothes? You're just like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, no, you were wrong. They're both wearing regular clothes. It's like, yeah, but they're different colors. I don't know.
They're default clothes, though. They're the same thing. Okay. Honestly, though, all that tedium would be fine if the items are actual things.
If they did something. Yeah.
Because, like, it's weird. It's like when someone levels up, you can give them one of, like, 30 just regular items that they actually have animations for, and the characters can do stuff. But it's like the same things for everybody. So it's just like, here, I can give everyone a Wii U, and then every now and then I'll check in on that me, and he'll be playing a Wii U. Haha, great. Whereas it's like, oh, cool, I got a Virtual Boy, or a bonsai tree, or a Super Nintendo. Those are useless items that don't exist. They're just on a list of crap at the pawn shop, so you might as well just sell them. Like,
why can't you give people a cat and a dog? Like, you can do the rent a cat or whatever.
Sure, but why can't you just own a cat?
Why can't I make somebody, like, why can't I make Tessa on my island the crazy cat lady with, like, 50 cats in her apartment?
I don't know.
Because that would require Nintendo making a fun product.
I just don't know why they made such a kind of surface level thing. Like, it's
I liked your anecdote you were telling me about how on Top Down you guys had coined the term holding the fun hostage.
Yeah.
They did with this.
Nintendo is really getting good at doing that. Like, it's just kind of like first time out, really shallow product. Like, it's just kind of I don't know who's.
But like the thing is, they're good at hiding that they're doing it, because when you first play
it, wacky and zany. Come get this thing, okay?
When you first play it, you're just like, this is fine, this is great, this is what exactly kind of what I wanted from a dumb little product like this. And then about an hour of doing this, like maybe in 10-minute increments every single day, or like all in one day, you're like, oh, this is literally the same thing. They are holding the fun hostage.
Yeah,
it's like you guys would put it.
Character wants to ask someone else if they can be friends. They are hungry. They want to date someone, or they're depressed because they failed at doing something. Those are like the four things.
Also, is it just me, or like, do they need to either go full hog with like you can control how they do stuff, or not at all? Like, they shouldn't be able to say, no, you shouldn't date that person. Like, I should just be able to turn on my thing one day and just be like, oh, fucking, like, Brittany hooked up with 3 dudes last night. Sorry.
Like, just have, like, a weird, like, it's just simulating stuff, and you're just, like, you're kind of just a voyeur for this.
And now Batman has AIDS. Like,
sure.
Yeah, just like weird shit happening.
I mean, it does seem like there's characters that are becoming sweethearts and friends and stuff without me saying, yes, go do that. No, don't do that.
Okay.
But it's so far
I haven't had that experience yet. Everything I've
I'm wondering if it's just a side effect of the fact that like I am paying extra attention to like you, Brittany, the people we know on Twitter, like a handful. Like there's like 6 me's that I actually care about.
Yeah.
And like 28 that are just other people. So it's like, oh, this is happening with these people, but I was the one that initiated it with these 6 because I actually talk to them all the time. So, yeah. Also okay.
Another petty call-out, just while we're still on that topic.
Yeah.
Also to the Spaghetti Cast, one of them asked, like, can you get rid of a me? Like, if someone's pissing you off, can you delete them? Yes, you can. It's $21 to do so, like, in the in-game currency, and then it says they leave your island. Maybe you should do your homework before you talk about a game, you fucking losers. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I banished one guy because I was just like, you're so boring. Like, I'm just tired of checking in on this character. Why are you...
I'm sorry, I'm punchy tonight. I had a rough day.
Okay. Final thing, I guess, on that is that game can be mad, creepy, and sad.
Yeah.
So I have Tazwell and Vincent Carabella on the island, right?
Yeah.
And I gave Vinny like gray hair, and then gave him a slide puzzle.
Yeah.
And the slide puzzle was of Ryan Davis.
Oh no.
And I just went like, this is like sad and weird, and like it just put like sad imagery in my brain. And I was just like, this is like the saddest game in the world if you want it to be, because it's just kind of like this like snow globe where you keep like little people, and you're just like, no, they're okay, they're safe, I have them. And it's just like, this is so weird. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
Like, what else are you gonna put
Island
in there? Like the fucking horse from Neverending Story that died in the Swamp of Sorrow. Like, yeah, like let's just put a bunch of sad things in there.
Yeah, if you fill your island with like people you thought were cool that aren't alive anymore.
Like Will Smith's dad from Prince of Bel-Air and Will Smith. So like when they're not friends, you're just like crying every time.
Yeah, it's like every time a celebrity dies, put a me on the island.
Actually,
have, like, just the saddest island.
You should put Will Smith in there, and like his sad emote is, "Why don't he want me no more?" or something like. Why didn't you want
You
me,
could
man?
totally do that.
Yeah.
And just have like Paul Walker there and be like, man, I just wanted to go fast or something. And James Dean is there.
Man. I
And it's
wanted to
just
go fast.
like it could be like the kind of weird parody of Nighthawks where it's just like James Dean and like Elvis and Marilyn Monroe and all these like dead celebrities and they just live on your island and they're still popping, they're still doing it up in here. And it's just like this is just weird. This is not true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that game's strange. I don't know if I don't think it's good. Maybe like I was really into it for a while, and now I'm just like unless there's some new thing to it, it almost just seems like check in the morning. Hit the news button and the game will tell you a joke and then turn it off, I guess, and then check it again in the evening and it'll tell you another joke. And in the meantime, you can get a bunch of fake items and get money.
And then like every time you're trying to do something, you accidentally tap on their face and you hear the same line over and over. I am working on my funny face.
Yeah.
Like,
do
fuck
you want
off.
to see it?
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to see your funny face, Nathan. Fuck off. I want
like,
you to move over here.
I really want a disposable camera. Okay, here you go. All right, I took this picture of like a tree. All right, 3 out of 10.
I gave Marshmallow in my game the camera. He's like, should I take a picture of something artsy or something? His voice is so creepy in it. So it's like something artsy or like of another person like artsy, and it was just like a picture of a kitten playing in the sun or something. Like it was so dumb.
It's like I call it forgotten memories. And it's like what?
And then
why?
Those things are fantastic. They are hilarious.
It's like funny when it's someone you know, and it is absolutely not funny at all when it is just random person. So, yeah.
And when you've seen it more than once.
Sure.
Which you will, because it's the same shit over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. It's repetitive really quickly. And, like, I mean, you can check the shops every day for, like, new items, but they're kind of useless items. Like, honestly, if all it had different was you can kind of decorate all of those Mii's apartments. Like, that would add so much more to that game.
Oh,
like, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to make Nicolas Cage like a crazy bonsai tree collector and fill his apartment with bonsai trees. They're done.
And fossils.
Like, that's a little thing I was able to do, as opposed to just like, all right, your apartment is now a haunted castle. Here's
now
a
boxing ring. Or now a picture of like a field. What the hell is with that one?
The lifestyle, like the
realistic.
I don't know. I would never buy it. It's like $1,000 for like nonsense. But yeah, it's I don't know what they did.
Makes me so angry. That one specifically, not the game.
Yeah,
it makes me angry that thing is just like a picture of an open field for a house.
Yeah, photorealistic is I think what it's called. And you're just like, why? Okay, like, yeah, that game is barely a game, but not in like a way that seems purposeful. It's like a little simulator that doesn't let you simulate a lot of stuff.
Honestly, like it never felt like it was a game though. The way I referred to it was a toy. Like
yeah,
it was just
it's a
toy
weird
you play
little
with.
toy of like just fill this island with familiar faces, and then they can do like 6 things.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you want a toy, it's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that like you'll it's $40 and you'll play with it. Like you might get $1 an hour worth of time in it before you start getting annoyed with it.
Yeah, like the turnaround on it is way faster than Animal Crossing. Of just like, oh, I'm out of stuff to do. I'm tired of the routine. It's just like, no, you're already out of stuff to do. There's like, I think there's maybe like 1 or 2 things left to unlock, and I don't know what they are. But maybe it's just like, oh, you got to send a lot of like photos out or something, and then it'll open up the Photoshop, or I don't know. I think there actually is one already. Anyway, yeah. Tomodachi also. So Tomodachi, I might actually throw into the barrel.
Okay,
I don't know.
Let's throw it in the barrel.
Okay. Tomodachi Life in the barrel. Mad City barrel. Probably.
Oh come on!
Really? Okay.
I can't make an argument for it, honestly.
If you're gonna force me to throw Evangelion in the barrel, then Mad City definitely belongs in the barrel.
Yeah.
If I get to save Evangelion from the barrel, I'll question it.
No, you know what? We're going to do the same thing. Evangelion and Mad City are beside each other in this barrel we made up.
Okay.
But it's not on fire yet.
Okay.
Because we couldn't decide. Like, it's... Okay, we started the fire, but it rained, and we're too lazy to go back out and start it again.
Okay.
So they're kind of sitting on embers right now.
Okay. Do you got any new homework this week, or what's the word?
Well, I can't really think of anything because, like, literally the only thing you talked about was Mad City.
Mad City
and an anime from like 20 years ago that
20-year-old anime.
Watched, so
I watched some Mad Men, but it's stuff I've seen already.
Yeah,
I watched an art house flick called Cries and Whispers, but I'm not gonna
elaborate on that. Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. It was okay, but I mean, that is such a specialized conversation. Like, it's like I don't want to have like. So it's about these 3 sisters. One of them is dying. And like, it's just, it is a Swedish melodrama.
I can give you a homework assignment if you want one, though.
Okay, it was a fun kind of thing this week for me, so
okay,
I'll take it.
I don't think you'll like it though.
Okay.
Buy and download the newest game that came out this week. It doesn't matter which one, and play it through.
No,
tell me what you thought.
That's terrible homework. You can't do that.
Yeah,
it's like you have to spend money on a thing you'll hate, and also
you might have hated Mad City, and you would have spent money.
That was like $4. Yeah, not $60.
I'm not saying that you have to get a $60 game. You can go to Humble.
Oh, what is you don't even have a specific game though. Like, what is a new game that's worth shit?
Play Watch Dogs.
No, it won't work on my AMD thing, and I don't want to play a bad port of it.
Yeah. Did you hear that they held the fun hostage?
What? Like, DLC's coming or what?
Okay, not the fun, but remember back in like 2 years ago, E3.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that Watch Dogs trailer. That looks sick.
Yeah.
That's in the game. You can play it that way.
What do you mean? Like, you can turn on all the stuff that was...
You have to hack the game about hacking to be able to get all that stuff. So, what people are speculating, and this is probably true because cynicism and internet stuff, they probably dumbed down the PC version so it wouldn't overshadow, like it wouldn't shine over the console ports. Because the consoles cannot do it, but a high-end PC can make that thing look absolutely gorgeous.
Weird. So it's like actual hacking. It's not like some in-game tweaking or codes or cheats. It's like, no, dude, you can like turn on these other shaders and like extra detailed garbage and stuff.
Like, we are talking like the difference between like Resident Evil Director's Cut on the PlayStation and Remake.
Oh, okay.
Sort of thing. Like, no, this is like a live-action movie right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that, cool, man. PC Master Race people must be freaking out right now.
I think they're probably freaking out, but
just
more than anything,
biggest circle jerk of all. Just,
but like more PC than anything, it's just kind of hilarious that it's like, oh no, you can actually like do it this way. Like, that trailer you saw, that's there.
It's in there. They just kind of buried it because Microsoft and Sony money.
And then people are saying that, like, if you have something like that in there, if you have any dirty deeds you don't want seen, just delete it.
Because delete those assets.
People will always find everything in your game when it's on the PC.
Yeah.
They will find every single piece in there.
Yeah, every single file will be examined.
So, yeah, awesome. It's crazy. But I thought that was interesting.
I refuse this extra credit assignment. That is not going to happen. Like, if it's like, hey, I know you own this game, you need to check this out. Or like, hey,
finish Transistor. I know you want movie assignments, but like, it's hard to give you one when we haven't even talked about, like, there was no transition.
Mad City, you gotta be like, hey, check out
off of Mad City
Travolta in Michael or something, like, like.
Oh, dude, don't watch Michael.
That
would be worse than playing Transistor.
I don't know about that. It's only 2 hours. Whoa.
So is Transistor.
No, I've already played more than that.
Have you?
Yeah, I've played like 2.5.
Have you played any more since?
No, I had one terrible time with it, and why would I do that again?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, I honestly just don't have a homework assignment.
All right.
Because there was nothing to really transition to. I mean, I could just say, like, play Pokemon, but...
Okay. Well, I guess I won't
just
expect homework every week.
Jerk off motion. Play
organically
Pokemon.
Comes in. Yeah. Man, yeah, like I don't have like a hey, you should watch Mad Men or something. I'm gonna force that on you.
Yeah, it's just like 60 hours worth
It's
of
like,
content.
have you seen any of it ever?
Yeah, I saw a bit of the first season.
Oh, okay. So you've
Mhm.
already checked it. Okay.
Yeah, like I kind of have an idea of what it's like, and it does some stuff good that I enjoyed, but for the most part, I just didn't want to get sucked into another series.
Okay.
I know Erin loved it though.
Okay.
Yeah, she's big into that
So
show.
yeah,
So
I don't really have anything to assign either. I was just like, you need to check out this. Do you have okay? I guess another thing I did was like I set up a profile on the Criterion website.
oh, you were saying Eraserhead's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
That's
coming in
pretty cool.
September. So I was like, oh, that'll be cool. Like that's not even one of my favorite David Lynch movies at all, but I know that means tons of special features about David Lynch. So
Sure.
like day one, awesome.
Sure.
But yeah, I added all the movies I have and bought The Rock on Amazon because there's a Criterion version of it.
Oh, what were the other movies you bought?
Oh man, it's like a kind of a big list of stuff that aren't in front of me right now. But I bought The Cars That Ate Paris, which is like one of Peter Weir's first movies.
Okay.
Australian director. Smiles of a Summer Night. Yeah, Ingmar Bergman. Lady Vanishes. That is a early Hitchcock kind of movie. I don't know if it's early, but it's a Hitchcock film. Like 7 Criterion movies because they're Criterion movies. So I got like Alfonso Cuarón, like one of his first movies before Y Tu Mama Tambien. I got one of like Jane Campion's.
Did you
first
find
movies.
Kronos?
Kronos wasn't there, but like
Did you
this was
look,
like
though?
well, yeah. I mean, I was looking through the whole wall of stuff that was Criterion, and
Okay.
there was like that kind of stuff would have jumped out at me because like, oh, I've heard of this and want to see it, so sold. This was kind of stuff of like, oh, I've heard of this director and have liked something they did, so sure, okay. Like, or I bought a movie called Hopscotch with Walter Matthau, and he plays like a CIA agent or something. I was like, okay, like I've never seen this. It's part of this collection, and it's here, and it's cheaper than it would normally be. Fine. Or like Under the Volcano, a John Huston movie from the '80s with Albert Finney. Yeah, like a bunch of kind of art housey kind of stuff. I also, I guess one of like the one that was like this one I'm just proud of in this weird way. I now am the proud owner of the Garbage Pails Kids movie.
Oh, God, okay. We have to watch it.
I already have like an engagement to watch it with a friend of mine and his brother, but I will I like and I don't want to promise like, oh yeah, I'll watch it with you too because I'm told it's terrible. So I don't want to
just put it on at work while we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Bring it tomorrow.
No, I can't. I've already promised like a special movie night for it. So
special movie night.
Because like a bad movie night kind of thing. Because I'm told it's so bad. Like again, let's bring him up again. Ryan Davis said the worst thing you'll ever see with your eyes, and I love that promise. Like it was just like that's something. Like that is bad. So I need to see it, and it was there for like $4 or something, which isn't a great deal, but. It was there at the time. So yeah, that there were some others too, but they're not in the room with me right now. So yeah, 2 Evangelion movies, Cars A Paris, like 7 Criterion movies, the Steve Coogan and Hilary Duff movie that I didn't know existed, like a collection of Weezer music videos.
God, okay.
And like weird vault stuff, like the Wheeze. 91 to 2002 or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there was any other kind of standout stuff. Apparently not. So yeah, 17 in total.
Okay.
Feel okay about most of them.
Do you have your shelf set up to put stuff on?
I was like alphabetizing and actually setting up everything, and then I realized like, wait, there's like a gap right here. Like I am missing a box full of stuff. So I'm going to stop before I have like set up how much shelf space for what thing and then realize I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm almost there. Like I have a plan for how I'm going to arrange everything and we'll have more than enough shelf space, but yeah. So yeah, movies, man. I bought movies. I'm going to watch movies. Movie time. Oh, I guess movie night this week was THX 1138.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it.
George Lucas' first movie.
I heard it was boring.
It was boring for like an hour, and then there was like a chase that I thought was
kind of
car
crash.
Yeah, and motorcycles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a race to the surface of this underground city.
Okay.
The thing that kind of like still wrinkles me is just like George Lucas did his CGI touch-ups thing for this movie too. So like 2004, the director's cut came out, which is what I have, and like it's just like that is not 1971 special effects. Like it's just like
oh god,
CG robot with like a rod of radioactive material like melting through it and stuff. Just like I'm really curious what the original footage looked like, but apparently it is like not available. Like it was never released on home video in its original form. So yeah, but yeah, George Lucas's first stuff. I listened to some of the commentary too, but movies.
YouTube shout out.
YouTube shout out.
Not you.
WB Warner Video. They had Mad City, so that was a sick channel. They had movies on it. What about you? What do you got?
Back in the 90s is what it's called. It's run by two guys from I think Toronto.
Okay.
Like here in Canada, Martin and Brody. And I think I stumbled onto them last year or 2 years ago or something. They did a bunch of just like stupid videos about like, hey, remember like Crazy Bones and stuff, and like got out their whole Crazy Bone collection, or like Pogs, and some of like the old Alien action figures and Bop It, and just like dumb shit from like
Bop It was fun
from our childhood, right? Just dumb stuff like that. So I mean, they're Canadian, so they're affable dudes. Seem genuinely just like, oh yeah, this was like dumb, like my Pogs and stuff like that, and like getting pretty excited about it. They do a bunch of Pokemon stuff. They've done a few Pokemon stuff, and like exposing Ash for the fraud he was, considering he didn't like win any gym battles. Like his Pokemon, like he just won by technicalities all the time, or like making friends with the gym leaders and shit like that in the series. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty cool channel. It's pretty small, but I don't know. As a 90s kid, it's something I dug into. So yeah, Back in the 90s is what it's called.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for joining us around the Burning Barrel. That's all we got, right?
We have a few questions on Twitter if you want to do them.
All right. We're getting kind of late.
Yeah, but, we're just going to go through these quick.
Okay. I'll try not to like divulge into like, oh, that reminds me of this anecdote from my childhood 5-minute rant. Also, Ernest movies. Anyway. Commercials. I watched so many Ernest commercials. End of thought. What questions?
That's it? You sure?
No, I could talk for like 10 minutes about it, but I don't want to.
Why?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Yeah, but other people won't hear it.
Oh my god. Okay, so Jim Varney.
Yeah.
He played this character named Ernest P. Worrell that I somehow ended
People have to know that, right?
I don't know anymore. That's the thing, because like I saw like half a dozen of those movies just because like they were around. Like I would go rent some tapes, and eventually it's just like, I want a silly comedy, whatever, what's this? And like friends or somebody would tape them and whatever, and I'd end up seeing a bunch of
jail.
I saw Ernest Goes to Jail. I saw Ernest Scared Stupid. Christmas.
Stupid. Yep.
In the Army was one of the last ones.
Goes to Camp is one.
Goes to Camp was kind of the one. Like, I watched that one probably the most. But I liked Goes to Jail quite a bit too. I remember that.
Goes to Jail is pretty great because he has like his bad version, like the other dude that looks like him.
I think one of the first ones I ever saw was like Ernest Back to School or something. Like he had to, he at some point in the movie he gets like hit with some ray or some experiment that makes him super smart, and he's like in school and he's really smart and kind of solving all this stuff. And Jim Varney kind of does a different voice.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah, that one I remember being pretty dumb. Like just like eye rolling stupid. Like not that funny.
Did you know there was an Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain?
No.
Amazing, right?
But I guess for whatever reason I was reading about Jim Varney, and then I was just like, oh wow, like I guess this character was in commercials. I bet YouTube has those. Sure enough, they have like hours of Ernest just like, they're all one take.
Yeah.
And it's just Ernest kind of comes up and is like, I don't know, it's just like, oh hey Vern, and then he'll just talk to Vern, who is the camera, about whatever product it is. Like, it's just like, you should make the mellow yellow switch. You know what I mean? And then he like drinks mellow yellow, and then the dude kicks the ladder he's on or something, and then he falls, and it's like slapstick. So yeah,
he had that weird laugh too, right? Like or something. Yeah,
sure,
I don't know.
Like I was just like quick shots of just Ernest, and was reminded of all that time I spent watching those movies, and was just kind of caught up in this well of just watching 30-second little bits of Jim Varney doing silly voices and falling and saying stuff about like mellow yellow. This like car dealership near Cleveland or something, like KBVI 61 or something, like a TV channel out there. Just like local spots all over. And
you want to know something stupid?
What?
There was a movie and like book and stuff called The Importance of Being Earnest or something.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I always thought that meant this
Ernest.
Like,
I don't.
It's like, that's the new Ernest movie.
It was like Ernest movies was just like a thing. It's just like, there's these low budget comedies that are in every bargain bin in every Walmart.
And it has the same. They were the original Kevin Smith movies, really, because they had the same three people all the time, every single time.
Who are the other two? Like,
I can't remember like what their names were, but it was like overweight dude and weird, like creepy skinny guy.
Oh, okay.
They were always just like either like buddy cops or like fishermen or something, and they were just there.
Like, it's just one of those things that like I'm not so sure anyone outside of that bubble of time would really ever watch those, because it's not like they were of such great quality that you need to watch it.
And he died.
And he died in 2000. So,
pour one out.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, it just kind of is a revelation for me of just like, oh, this came from television commercials. I'm going to see what that's about. And then I watched a bunch of those. So, yeah. The connection was slow, so I turned it off.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ernest. There you go.
Ernest.
Commercials.
Jim Varney, do you know who that is? Write into the podcast and let us know.
Yeah, podcast at burningbarrel.co.
What's your favorite Ernest movie? Hashtag Ernest. I don't know what else we need to say.
Ernest burns barrels? I don't know.
Like Ernest, know what I mean. That's the hashtag. Because that was his catchphrase.
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just Ernest, know what I mean. If you know what I mean about Ernest.
If you don't, just do it anyways. Let's see if we can get it trending.
God damn it. Make the yellow switch.
That's like a Mega 64 thing. It's like hashtag of the week, Ernest. Know what I mean?
And they talk about how crappy Mountain Dew is, and some of them it's just like, you could just call them out like that? Like, just say the other product is bad? Okay.
That's probably before the time of... That was a simpler time where I remember going to a Denny's and people were smoking while eating their omelets.
Right. Yeah, so, this is 80s and 90s. Or like...
90s.
Well, some 80s stuff. I guess the character started then. But
yeah, but for me it was 90s, because that's when I could cognitively remember things.
No, I know. I'm saying like the date these commercials aired. And,
oh, okay.
But whatever, yeah.
Okay. Meowth900 on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have funny relationships happening in Tomodachi. David is dating Tessa, and Mario is dating Brittany. How are your Islanders? Well, I already went through that. Don't care.
Well,
Marshmallow.
Okay. Relationship-wise, Tessa and Marshmallow are married. Brittany and I are married. And...
How did you force that one? You were friend-zoned for a while there.
I was friend-zoned for a while. John was starting to try to get in.
Oh, fucking John, man. Holy shit.
And I was like, nah, get out.
Keeping it in the podcast family.
And John and Meowth are dating, which that was great.
Sure, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because they're both emotionally unavailable.
Well, in Tomodachi world, yeah.
No, I mean in real life.
Whoa, what? It's getting too real.
I actually don't know that about John. I'm just being a dink.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, I don't care because I haven't turned on my thing, so I don't care how my Islanders are, but I'm glad to hear...
Oh, and Paul Giamatti and Marshmallow are best friends.
I'm glad to hear people are hitting it big on yours. Okay, Marshmallow on Twitter. Have you noticed how Meowth probably sucks at Wind Waker? That's kind of rude, and no, because I don't care about Wind Waker. What are some games you guys suck at? I suck at many games. Like
Transistor.
I don't have the patience to learn Civilization games or like to play through a whole thing of it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
never finished a full one either.
so like I kind of suck at those, I guess, because I don't want to put in the time to like do a mission or level or whatever you'd call it.
I guess for me, if there's a genre, it's strategy RPGs.
Okay.
Of just like I don't find them mechanically satisfying at all, and the storylines are all seem to mostly be really long-winded and kind of just boring.
There's not storylines.
I know, but I mean, there's written dialogue that I have to press A through in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and that wasn't helping. So,
Sure.
like, yeah, it's like, great, I got my guy behind the guy, and I got a bonus, and all right, now I'm going to put my guy behind this rock. And, like, it's just, like, menu-driven stuff. It's just not fun at all.
Sure.
Like, I've tried so many, because they always put, like, oh, hey, Metal Gear is doing that. Metal Gear Aston's like, okay, I like Metal Gear. Yeah, this is terrible. Okay, Final Fantasy. I don't want to play this.
Oh, I know something, like a thing in games
XCOM.
I suck at.
Yeah.
Is patient, meticulous stealth.
Okay. So,
I don't
like,
know why. I get nervous.
Splinter Cell?
Yeah. Like, if there's dudes walking around and stuff, I get kind of locked up. Like, this is like, oh god, I gotta get this right sort of thing. It's weird.
Like, there's an extra pressure to, like, okay, I'm gonna actually go choke this dude out. Oh,
and, like, if they turn around, that's my worst nightmare.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess that.
I like the way Batman does it. But yeah, the Splinter Cell games, I kind of fell off. And, like, man, I played through one of the Hitman games, the second one, Hitman 2. And then after that, it's just like, I don't have the patience for this. Like, I don't want to, like, wait or set up a scenario. Like, it's just tedious. So,
yeah.
In the bad way, not like capping pens, just to be clear.
Yeah. Okay. Meowth, I'm stumbling around like a lost fool in Wind Waker HD.
Oh, no.
Okay, so maybe Marshmallow was onto something.
Verifying the, yep.
Have you ever got lost while playing a game for the first time? There is a channel called Game Dudes.
There was this piano puzzle. Let me tell you, I was not interpreting that clue properly at all.
Like, I mean, gotten lost. Anytime I lost first play A Legend of Zelda, I get lost. Because
there's definitely, like, points where it's just like, I don't know if I missed some prompt or something, but
and water temples in those games. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about that necessarily, because you eventually find your way and you keep going. That's just how those games go.
Right, it's just like finding the next dungeon or something. I'm just like, what do they want me to do right now? Like, I guess I'm supposed to use the fire arrows on this ice thing. Oh no, that was just a bonus chest. Now I don't know. Was there another place with ice? Like, that kind of stuff.
This is super specific, but anytime I play an MMO.
Okay.
Because the, like, main cities and stuff are usually so huge, so finding, like, go to the tailor or something, you're just like, there's, like, fucking 50 things here. I have no idea where this tailor is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, anytime you play an MMO, you get lost for the first long time until you repetitively have to go to the same people every 5 minutes. So, then you get used to it, but I don't know. It's just something that happens. Sometimes Final Fantasy games, like, I don't know what to do next.
I kind of got turned around for a while at some point of just, like, looking for, like, basically, like, in side quest stuff, like, just trying to be like, where's the next thing? It's like, oh, it's in this different time period. You need to go to the same place.
Yeah, they add a whole different dynamic in there where it's like, I'm not only lost in the world, I'm lost in, like, time.
In time, yeah. It's like, no, you're in the right place, but you're in the wrong time. They're just like, all right, I'm just going to go fight the end boss. There, I'm done.
Right.
Like, I'm way over-leveled already anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Marshmallow again. Who are the funniest people or accounts you follow on Twitter, YouTube, and other shit, and how do I stack up? Probably Nathan, because every time he says something, it's usually some, like, sarcastic asshole gold, and I laugh.
Oh, no, really?
And funny hashtags, and how do you stack up? You don't. What about you?
Oh, man. I've been, like, unfollowing a lot of people, so I'm kind of a parade rainer of late. I'm trying to think, like, it's like, who's still in the good graces on the Twitter.
Like, on Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah, on Twitter especially, I've just been like...
Like, I don't go to Twitter for comedy, though.
No,
So,
I don't. Like,
yeah.
I used to follow, like, oh, I'm going to put Patton Oswalt on here, and, like, Louis C.K., and it's just like, nah, they're just better doing stand-up. Like, I don't want to read
What
their
about, like, YouTube,
snarky
though?
stuff.
I guess I don't find a whole lot of people funny on YouTube.
Mega 64, like, that's the one I go to.
But, yeah, they're kind of not, like, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. They're their own site. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I consider their YouTube channel, like, primary
Sure.
like, for stuff. So, like, Pizzatron, that's a great video. I have a poster of it on my fridge.
Yeah, no, I would go there.
So, yeah, they're my go-to for internet funny as of right now. Yeah, I don't know. I have kind of been shying away from social media hilarity lately because I find it a little more irritating than I used to.
You're grumping.
I'm grumping pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Meg64, they're also on Twitter and stuff, but sometimes that gets annoying. So, I mean, it's just like everybody's retweeting and stuff, and it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, but you can turn it off.
I know. I've been doing that a lot.
And muting?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Which at some point makes me like, why am I following this person then?
Just social
obligation.
politics.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, they're following me, but I no longer care what they have to say, so mute. Yeah.
Yeah. But
snarking.
Anyways, that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh, that's it for questions? Okay.
That's it for everything.
All right, that's it for this episode of Burning Barrel. If you know, recap, Evangelion, yay. Mad City, and what else was it?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Transistor, nay.
Transistor wasn't ever part of this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, that was...
Ernest?
Lingering. Man, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Next on the docket, Ernest movies. Dude, I will accept watch an Ernest movie as homework if you'll let me.
Okay, I'll give you some homework. Don't watch an Ernest movie.
Oh! Can I watch YouTube commercials?
No.
Yeah!
Don't watch
Fine.
anything with Jim Varney, so
Fuck!
sorry, I know you wanted to watch
I was
some
about to
Toy
say Beverly
Story.
Hillbillies. No.
Oh, Beverly Hillbillies, okay. Yeah, no. Anyways, have a good week. We'll see you next time.